Can everybody confirm that they can hear us? I think they can hear us. Well, look at that. We look good.
See,
I don't know about that. I really don't know about your selection of clothing for the show. Really is.
Well, no, because he's been here for. Okay, so we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about in this show. Most of it's probably going to be a lot of ball busting, right? So, Ďmitrij, how many days have you been here now? Oh, should we do the intro?
Well, I mean, before we get started, hold on. Before we get started, we should do the intro.
We should do the intro
first.
Okay.
I've been here for 3 days now.
3 days.
This is my third day.
This is his third day.
Yeah.
So he's picked on me like for my age. He's picked on me for my shoes
constantly.
You know, he's not like really Floridian, but so I decided to go over Floridian tonight, right?
Right.
But I do have a solution for dealing with Ďmitrij for the past 3 days,
Yes.
and it's right here.
It's his third bottle this week.
Right here, and this is how I deal. Let me just show you the correct process.
Yeah, it's medicine
for dealing with Ďmitrij for 3 days at my home. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy smoke-free New Year. And now,
yes,
we need an intro. Play the intro.
You got to watch that screen back there. This is what we got.
Now this big one over there.
This one right here. Just keep an eye on
this. This is like old school mixing. Let's do it. Shh.
Is this all reversed? That's me. That's me right there.
Good intro.
It's really well done.
All right. Okay. Vaping is the best way to quit smoking. Oh, Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat, man. That's really, really nice.
Right, you got a super chat?
That's very, very nice.
Did. Thanks,
Daniel says, the most sexy couple in the interwebs and drinking alcohol. Oh, God, will they be so wasted later on?
Well, actually, it is the Smoker Show. We do have sponsors. We can't do that for the Smoker Show.
Okay.
But perhaps later on this week, we'll go live. Like just
maybe we'll just do it out of the hot tub.
That would be funny. That would be funny. Well, see, Daniel, actually, he's doing that for a reason.
Why?
Well, because they might deport him out of the country. Right. So he could be using us as like a a cash reserve. You know, maybe that's what he's doing.
He's that's an old copper way. Let's just distribute the money. When I need it, I'll call you from prison and send it out. By the way, so first of all, we're gonna answer some questions. Let's see a bunch of questions. Did you have to you got your belt buckled to your belly button yet?
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure what that
I'm
is.
still below the belly button.
Where are we? I am in 𝗃𝗽𝗄𝗃. I'm visiting my good friend Phil here with my wife and my kids.
And we're really happy to have you here, Phil.
And Phil's wife is here through the week as well, too. So we spent New Year's. We had a New Year's party yesterday. Had some people over. Phil cooked.
Larry's on. Say hi, Larry.
Hey, Larry. What's up?
There he is.
Phil cooked some his famous vodka sauce and some pasta and sausage and peppers. And we had some friends over. We had some drinks. Nobody got out of line.
No, it was calm. It was nice. It was fun.
I did notice two FBI cars passing out on the outside, but I think they were just checking on Larry.
That would probably be for Larry. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, better Mooch.
And hey, Mooch, what's up? But we had a really good time, and from the bottom of our hearts, I think, Phil, we want to wish everybody a prosperous, a healthy, filled with love and happiness, and of course, smoke-free 2019.
Absolutely. What we did in 2018, we want to continue in 2019. And this show is going to be, it's kind of interesting because hopefully there are some new people that are going to watch the show. So we're going to go through what we did in 2018 a little bit, and kind of maybe reintroduce ourselves and our experience and the history with vaping, talk about some of the products that we looked at, some of the experiences that we had. It's almost a little bit like a 2018 wrap-up show, a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Even though we don't have anything officially planned. And we have, I don't know if you noticed behind Ďmitrij right now, but there's a whole line of mods back there. And we really want this to be the New Year's resolution.
Well, minus one.
Minus one. One could potentially come to you broken, and we're not responsible in case that happens. Okay, but we really want this to be like the New Year resolution show. So a lot of people are thinking about quitting smoking, for the new year. Hopefully they're here watching the show. So we do want call-ins. Okay, the calling lines are open. We know that we don't have any. Yeah, it's just like on a computer over here. We know we don't have any screen graphics because Dimitri usually runs the screen graphics from his house for the Smoker Show. So we're just kind of wing this. We will let people know what the call-in number is, and hopefully if Mr. Bill is hanging out in the chat,
he'll be here in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So but we're really excited. We're kind of gonna wing it. We're gonna talk a little bit about 2018, some of our experiences, some of our highs and some lows. I do want to say a couple of things that this show is probably the most enjoyable time for me in 2018 vaping, when everything has kind of evolved into just a money-making business kind of thing. It's nice to be able to do this. And I hear some comments sometimes like, there's a drama going on between the current drama, 𝗵𝗵 or whatever 𝗵𝗵 has done. And people tune into that show and they get like 800 live viewers, and we do our show and we get a couple hundred live viewers. It doesn't really bother us. It really does not. We are too old to be chasing numbers on YouTube, because if we only get 4 or 5 people, which I know it's been way more than that this year that we've helped quit smoking, it makes it worth all of our time that we do this. And also it makes our sponsors appreciate what we're doing. For somebody to come and sponsor the show, especially since it's not a hype, advanced vapor type thing where everybody's going to look for the greatest and the newest and the shiniest and the new LEDs and the more wattages. We really appreciate that the sponsors are willing to step up and help our show and keep this thing going.
Yeah, I think the sponsors that I've talked to, everybody seems to be really proud of the fact that they're involved with the show. And hopefully they'll continue that on to into the new year. They'll continue to sponsor the show. Maybe we'll even get some different or additional sponsors for the show. But I've said this many times. If I could put my time, between reviewing and this show, I would rather put my time into this show, because I think the show is more important. I think, attracting more smokers and showing smokers the other side, maybe we'll call it the other side of vaping. I don't want to say the normal side of vaping, but you know what I mean, right?
Or the advanced, I guess.
Yeah. Just to show people that, everybody can do this and everybody can be, potentially saved by it. I think that's a better use of my time. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to stop the reviews. The reviews are still going to come. Maybe not as fancy as DJ LED.
I mean, nobody can. Daniel is Daniel.
If I buy $1 million camera, he'll buy a $2 million camera. So what are you going to do? But so I think it's a really good use of our time. I absolutely enjoy doing the show with you. Somebody asked, am I using a new camera? Because this probably looks a lot better for those people who watch the Smoker Show. But the reason why it looks better is because we're just going live from this house, from the Florida house. Mm-hmm. So there's no processing happening. Otherwise, like my video goes to Dimitri, and Dimitri has a program that pulls my video in and rebroadcasts it. So it may look a little bit better for you coming from the show. That's why I told him, and I will commit to this. And I will make a public commitment to this right now. If Dimitri were to move down here to Florida, okay, I will take part of my media room. I will completely gut the back of it, and I will create a professional, like a real studio because I think there's a lot of things that we could do together. And I will commit to that. I will spend the money, and I will commit to a professional studio in that room, and we could do a whole bunch of things.
Well, there's 3 big problems with me coming to Florida. Number 1, it's hot. It's hot.
It is hot. It's hot. Yeah,
it's hot. Right. I don't do very well on the heat. Number 2, there's a lot of old people, and there's a lot of people that drive very, very slow. Right. And number 3, our wives would divorce us. I mean, we wouldn't spend any time with our wives if I came here. So, that's 3 big problems. But I'd love to be here. Trust me. I enjoy visiting you. You have a beautiful house, and I love spending time with you. And
okay, so DJ LSB does have a good idea. If maybe you don't want to do it, maybe he will. Maybe he will.
Oh, we got a little invasion here going on. A little Portuguese invasion coming in.
All right, I tell you what, DJ LSD OBGYN, and if you want to move here to Florida, we'll do it too. I'll make that commitment to you too. Dimitri's got dibs on it, though. I just want to let you know. As far as you moving into the house, that we're gonna have to talk about.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying is like we've had, and you guys might not see it all the time, but personally we get a lot of messages and emails from people that are just embarrassed to chat in here, people that have converted, and unfortunately us vapers have I don't want to say it's a problem, but I think that we need to be a little bit more tender and a little bit more caring with new people that are coming in. Because a lot of them are just intimidated to type in the chat here when you have people posting, well, I'm vaping on a quadruple dinosaur, triple staple, chain link coil, as your buddy Larry was using yesterday. Right. A chain link coil, whatever that means.
And Larry's like 75 years old.
And that's fine if that's what you want to use. But I think a lot of we need to be a little bit more sensitive to the new people that are coming. A lot of them are intimidated, but we get a lot of private messages saying thank you for the kit that you sent me, or the suggestions that you made. You know, the dual use episode that we did, I think that was the last episode that we did. I got tons of messages. I got a lot of messages. People saying this is the way that we should be using these systems, trying to get off the dual use of cigarettes. And listen, guys, I'll be honest with you. It's been a very disappointing year for us when we see products, not only ours. I think that, you know, I don't care what anybody says. I believe that me and Phil brought MTL back. Okay, call me cocky, call me whatever you want to call me, but I think that we really stepped up since we commercialized the INNOKIN products, and a lot of companies are putting out product, which is a great thing. That's not a bad thing. Competition is great. More products that come out for MTLers and for smokers and new vapors. I think that's a great thing. The problem that we have seen is the United States has not embraced that from a retail perspective as we've seen it in the rest of the world. And I think that is a huge disadvantage for smokers. And now we're going into 2019. And since this is going to be a resolutions episode, this is going to be, it's the new year. We're going to start out. We're going to make some commitments. I think that's just something that we need to talk about. Absolutely. And so as we're talking here, I know Bill just joined. Bill, if you can do me a favor and post the call-in line so that everybody can see it. We've got a lot of conversion kits to give away tonight. We should thank our sponsors too. Yeah, we didn't start to talk about our My Vapor Store. Of course, My Vapor Store has a code MTL10 for all of our products. You get a 10% discount. MTL10. Right. There's My Vapor Store. There's INNOKIN, of course. INNOKIN, of course. JOYETECH. Absolutely. Jason, how you doing? George, James, how are you? There's 5𝗺𝗺. 5𝗺𝗺 Signature e-liquid from California. That's right. Long-term e-liquid company in the game. Yeah. And we should talk about maybe our relationship with some of these companies. Sure, we will. As we go through, we will. There's LUNAR ROVER. LUNAR ROVER, our newest sponsor. Right. And of course, Naked 100. And or Naked 100. The way Dimitri says it, Naked 100. Naked. And again, we have been approached by other companies to sponsor the show, and even our current sponsors might tell you that we're a little bit hesitant to bring on people. There's some requirements that we do have to be a sponsor on the Smoker Show. The only thing that you can not have is a 300 watt mod. Well, you can have a 300 watt mod as long as you offer some starter kits as well too. But you can tell, I mean, from INNOKIN and JOYETECH, these are companies that have been around since 2009. That continue to make starter kits, which we believe play a big role in converting smokers. So obviously they're going to be preferred as far as hardware is concerned. And from liquid, you know, limited amount of companies, but I can tell you that all three of these companies have high nicotine, 50/50 product that's geared towards smokers, good tobaccos, which are very, very important. You know, all the way up to 18 milligram. You know, this is the menthol from LUNAR ROVER, and I'm vaping Symmetry from 5𝗺𝗺. But this is the kind of stuff that we want to bring to you guys. And when we pass out a kit, can you imagine if we were doing the Smoker Show and we were passing out a smoke stick and some 3 milligram e-liquid? It just doesn't make any sense. It just turns into just a giveaway at that point, and that's not the goal of the show. No, there's something that's concerning me though. You see that right there in my coffee? What is that? Is that a ground or is that a bug? It's a ground. It's a ground? Yeah. So it's safe to drink. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know. Okay. So we're gonna keep an eye on the chat here. We're gonna answer questions as we go. Bill, if you could please capture some of the questions, feed them to us later if we do miss them. Yes, please do. And again, if you are a smoker, or maybe you have somebody who's very important to you in your life who's a smoker, and you're interested in transitioning, we do have a lot of kits to give away tonight. So please call in, or just to say hello, or just to tell your story. The telephone line is 215-383-5752. Yes. 215-383-5752, and you press 1 when you hear the British lady speaking, and then I can see you on the queue here, and we'll kind of we're kind of doing this old school. I have my laptop set next to me, and then we'll bring the audio in from there since I'm not back home with Wirecast doing all that stuff.
I drank it.
Are you gonna be okay?
I couldn't tell. It just went down.
I'll be honest with you. I feel a little bit uncomfortable with wearing that shirt next to me.
I'll change. I'll do a.
I don't know. I feel like I'm underdressed.
I'll do a wardrobe change. You want me to do that? Yeah.
No,
well, the other night
I look like I'm your bodyguard
at the New Year's party. I felt a little underdressed compared to everybody else. I just had like a t-shirt and my bathing suit on.
Yeah, but you were cooking, so
yeah. Okay.
You
cooked an amazing meal tonight, Larry. You missed an amazing You effed up, Larry, by not coming. Seriously, that was so good.
Yeah.
And there's some videos of 𝗵𝗵, and there's going to be some really funny animated GIFs of that, I'm sure, of 𝗵𝗵 cooking in the kitchen today on my Facebook. So make sure you go and check that out. That's a lot of fun.
I'm still stuffed, though.
I'm very full. I'm really full and uncomfortable. And I feel bad because Mom might be mad.
Yeah.
She might be, because Mom watched the live that we did, the live broadcast that we did from the kitchen on Facebook. But she watched it after the live was like well over, like a few hours over, and she started commenting like it was still live. She's like, "Okay, I can hear you guys." So she might be mad because we didn't respond to her, but she doesn't know that.
She's wonderful. Oh, by the way, listen. Yes. In all fairness,
yes.
When looking at the chat, and we're gonna try to pick up all the questions that we see. Bill will feed him 2-3 on it. But if anybody wants to call and talk, we'd be more than happy to answer your questions that way as well too. The phone lines are going to be open all night. So if you just have a question, or if you have a comment, or if you're having a hard time staying off cigarettes, if you're dual using or whatever, just give us a call and we're here to help it out.
Do you see how hot it gets in this room just with 2 people with the door closed?
It is very, very hot.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Now it's hot.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you crank up the fan again.
I can crank up the fan. I could do the air conditioning. I
feel so weird. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm usually like constantly, moving the buttons and all that kind of stuff.
Is your leg touching my leg right now?
It is a little bit.
It is a little bit.
Okay?
Yeah. That's okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, just move it up and down. Rub it up and down.
How about like that?
Yeah, that's
like
much
that?
better. Yeah. Thanks.
See, if I go like this, I hear, look. That's pretty. That does not look good at all.
That doesn't look at all. Yeah.
So, questions about the Zenith tank. What's next in the platform series as well? And the question, can you break the Zenith tank apart? I think we've answered that multiple times on the show.
Yeah.
But why not do it one more time? Okay,
so can the Zenith tank be disassembled to remove the glass or change the glass? No, it cannot. It cannot because of the liquid flow control that automatically shuts the liquid flow off when you open the tank to fill. Okay, so that's just the way that tank is. Now, we do have a new tank coming out. You can show that tank. That is the Z tank. Okay, so that it's going to use the same Z coil. That's very important to us, and I think it's important to vape shops as well. Same airflow controller on the bottom, same easy way to change the coil, but this one has a slide top to fill, number one. Some people did complain about the fill hole on the top, gathering lint and stuff in your pocket. Hopefully that will not happen with this one. And on this one, number one, we got child safety feature on it with the mouthpiece. Number two, you can replace the glass on this one, okay? Now, we also lose a few features on this one. We don't have a liquid flow shut off. That's why it's limited to a 22 millimeter tank, number one, and it's also limited to a 2 mil capacity, number two, because we want people to continue to have a good trouble-free vape experience with the products, right? So our fear is that if we put too much e-liquid in it, if we put 4 mil, if we put it in a 24 millimeter format, when you open it, it could potentially flood. We don't want that to happen to people, okay? But it's going to be a little bit more of an inexpensive tank. We're launching in 4 different colors. We've got the black, we've got a silver, we've got a
blue,
the blue, and
electroplated blue,
the electroplated,
and a gunmetal,
and the gunmetal. So yeah, we're excied about that, and that should be like any day now. That's
January the 7th. I think they're launching here in the United States, and after Chinese New Year in Europe. But of course, the coils are compatible. If you have the existing Zenith tank, you're gonna get the same. You can use the same coils. But once again, this is one of the things that me and Phil like to do is, INNOKIN came out with this great technology for a coil for sub-ohming. It's a 3D cut of the plexus coil. If you look at the plaque of Kanthal that goes around, it's actually 3D diamond cut.
Yeah.
So why should all the sub-ohmers have the fun, and the MTLers should have fun as well too? So we came up with a version of a 3D cut plexus coil as well too, which is actually 0.48 is the resistance, and that sounds like it's a sub-ohm coil, but I'm running it right now at 15 watts, and it's working fantastic. I mean, the battery efficiency was something like that. Very low resistance, very low wattage. You're just going to get more battery life out of it.
Yeah, I'm actually using that same Plexus 3D coil right now in this tank, and I've been using this tank for 2 weeks now. Okay, I'm running it a little bit higher, 16.5 watts. It's been fantastic. And I noticed, like, so a lot of people are going to say, is the flavor a lot better than the standard Plexus coil? Well, look, any reviewer at this point, and I've said this so many times in the reviews, any reviewer who comes on, right, and says, oh my God, the flavor on this tank is amazing, I wouldn't buy into that much. I mean, yeah, sure, you can have good flavor, but I think there's subtle differences at this point. I mean, most of the tanks are using the same stuff, right? They're using some kind of wire. They're using some kind of wicking material. Yeah, of course, there might be a little bit of difference in the airflow and how the air hits the coil and things like that. But, I mean, we're talking about small differences, small improvements, right? Nothing like, wow. But so anyway, with this coil, do I get a small improvement over the standard coils? Yeah, I find the flavor to be just a little bit brighter. Could I tell this coil between like this coil and a standard using the same e-liquid? I think that I could, but it's going to be a very, very subtle difference. I think for us to tell you anything different would be us trying to just sell product, and that's not what we want to do.
Sasha Alexandra was the one that called about her son a couple weeks ago, dual using. She got him an INNOKIN for Christmas, and he's almost completely off cigarettes now. I want to thank you for the guidance, and we want to thank you for updating us. Really, that's what makes it. How's your tank's flavor compared to 𝗃 Prime? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's totally subjective. I mean, it's a replaceable coil. You're not going to get that same flavor as an RTA, but you know, the people that use the Zenith tank, and we've sold a lot of Zenith tanks, especially across Europe, everybody seems to be happy with the coils. I personally, when I put the 3D Plex coil next to the original Plexus coil, next to the 0.8, it's a very subtle difference. You know, for me, I could vape all three of them and be completely satisfied. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's amazing difference between the coils, but it is a replaceable coil tank, and you're going to get the, you know, what you're going to expect out of that. All right.
But let's also not forget that the 𝗃 is what, 200, 150, something like that?
Yeah, 150
And ours is like what, 25, 30 bucks?
25
Yeah, so,
yeah.
you know, okay.
Yeah. All right, so...
Okay, let's just announce this before we take the first caller. The stocking contest. We are going to be announcing the winner of the stocking contest later on in this show, okay? As a matter of fact, I just opened up the emails a little while ago. We do have a 4-way tie, so there is going to be a random drawing. Stick around for that.
Yeah, very, very excited. All right, we got a couple of telephone calls.
We have phone calls.
See if this is going to work.
First of all. Now the phone calls, okay. Let's see. We're gonna have to listen in.
Hello. Hi, hey, who's this? Hey, Jay.
Okay, can everybody hear Jay? Can you make that as loud as it goes?
That's as
loud as it goes. All right. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this, but let's try it.
Hey, Jay, where are you calling from?
Phil, I have to tell you, your shirt is a lot better than Dimitri.
Right? I thank you very much.
I don't know if better is not the word
no.
I'm thinking of right now.
Well, I don't want to say it's a lot better because he does have the Smoker Show logo.
Dimitri, have you ever been to a vape convention in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Yes, of course I have, yeah.
I think you may have approached me one day when I was rocking a Typhoon.
Quite possibly, I probably would. I find it pretty interesting that somebody in Indiana was using a Typhoon atomizer, yeah.
Okay, hey, I got a question. I've been using RTAs for quite a while now, and I'm going to make a transition, I think, from stainless steel to nichrome. Is it nichrome 80?
N80, yes.
Some lower resistance.
Okay.
Can you tell me anything about what's going to happen when I start using nichrome?
Sure. And by the way, why do you want to make the transition from stainless? Is there a certain reason? Are you using temperature control, or you're just doing stainless steel wattage build?
Yeah, I've evolved into a Philosophy Triad 250C, but at work I have a Tesla 640 watt, and it takes a 22.5 or so, 23.5 millimeter tank, and I've got a 𝗃𝗽𝗲𝗿𝘀, and I'm going to use a 𝗃𝗽𝗲𝗿𝘀 RTA, RBA head in it. Of course, it's going to be dual coil.
Sure.
So I'm looking for lower resistance than stainless.
I got you. Yeah, N80, Phil.
Yeah, personally, I don't like nichrome. I don't like the taste of nichrome, so I can't speak a whole lot to it, you know. But, you know, potentially using a different metal like that, you're going to be able to use the same gauge, a similar build, and you're going to be able to get your resistance down. So that's certainly one of the ways you can get your resistance down. But I mean, outside of my early days with vaping, when nichrome was the only answer, really, the only one. Yeah, I've since moved on, and it's because of flavor. Nichrome, for me anyway, has a break-in flavor that I'm not very fond of.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, why don't you just go thicker on the canthal and use a 24 gauge canthal and build, and that way you can lower your resistance a little bit down if you want to, or even stainless. But I mean, I personally prefer canthal. One of the things with nichrome that I will tell you is I really like nichrome with silica. I don't like nichrome with cotton. And then that may be just me, but my flavor palette has been pretty accurate. You know, when I'm testing the ceramic coils and all these pod systems and all that, I always pick up some little you know, differences in the metals. And for me, nichrome, I just don't like it with cotton. I don't get a good flavor. But it's silica.
Always said that. You always said that. You always liked silica with nichrome.
With nichrome, I really like silica and the way that it performs. So just think about that and just test it out. Hey, wire is really cheap, man. Just, you know, buy a couple of spools of different things and play around with it.
It is really cheap. Yeah, I started with the TC40 green-leaf, and I've got the original, the first run etched E-leaf on the top of the thing. So I've been doing this a while, and I'm just gonna do some nichrome for a while here and see what's happening.
Just keep on vaping, brother. That's all.
Just keep vaping.
Whatever it takes to stay off cigarettes. Okay.
And if you move to your nichrome and you're
have a good day.
Thanks
very
man.
much.
Happy New Year.
What I was going to say there, if he moves to nichrome and he's happy with it and he's not smoking,
Be
terrific.
happy.
You know, we were talking about that before, you know, how some people, they feel like if they don't have like new equipment, they feel like they're not vapors. That is, I used to send this email out to a lot of people who asked me. People were actually, at one point, they approached me and they said, we're embarrassed to go to a vape show. And I said, why are you embarrassed to go to a vape show? They're like, we only have egos, or we only have like twists, or we only have the, you know, something like smaller. And, you know, we feel like, you know, not confident. What the hell is that?
It's Patrick.
Oh, hey, Patrick. Thanks, Patrick. You know, we feel uncomfortable walking around the show using that equipment. I said, you know what? I said, you find me and you walk next to me at the vape show. And if anybody says anything, you know, negative to you, let me talk to them, right? Yeah. Because you shouldn't feel that way. I don't think anybody should be embarrassed of what you're using. Man, if what you're using is working for you to keep you off of cigarettes, that's like the greatest product out there.
Absolutely.
And you should be extremely proud of what it is that you're using.
Absolutely. As long as you're not smoking, that's what it all boils down to. I think at every given instance that I think that we really try to overanalyze everything. Like just because you don't like something doesn't necessarily mean somebody else is not going to use it. And I'm sick and tired sometimes, and I don't want to go on a rant, but I'm sick and tired when I go into these chats and somebody asks a very humble question, and then the other person replies with, no, that's not good. You know, use this, because that's what they use. And unfortunately, that same of attitude has transitioned to the vape shop. You know, I've seen people, Larry was telling me yesterday the same thing, like he can't go into a vape shop at his age and feel comfortable. He can't relate. Also, he's gone into vape shops with his equipment, and people behind the counter, which I find completely ridiculous, people behind the counter berate the equipment that he's using.
Yeah, I know. That's unbelievable. Yeah, we heard a couple of those stories where people, you know, walked into a vape shop and were told, you know, you got to get a real vaporizer. You should really move up to something real.
It's just ridiculous.
First of all, I'm not a fan of Dr. Phil because of that last show.
I'm gonna pick up these questions. I got them here lined up.
Okay. Do you know what a blue drop is? You know what he's talking about?
No.
Okay, I have no idea what a blue drop is.
I don't know what a blue drop is either.
And maybe he was just trying to get us to say that.
Bill Coons, it's really hard to find 18 milligram for the new vapors. Lunar Rover, all the way up to, look at that one's 18 right there on the top. Maybe we'll send this to a smoker today and then try to get him to quit smoking. Vaping Greek, use Vaping Greek as your code for 15% off. That's going to run through the holidays. So then it's going to go back to 10% off. So 15% off if you use Vaping Greek. Thanks for the.
By the way, you could also use 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀 for 15% off.
But Vaping Greek's better.
Matter of fact, if you use 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀, it might be 15.1% off. I'm not sure. You might want to try that.
So yeah, but there are companies still out there that are making up to 18%. Jack Petracci, I wish you guys would do top airflow. My Zenith leaks like crazy. All my bottom airflow tanks do. Well, I mean, the Zenith is designed not to leak, Jack. So it's definitely something going wrong there with either their setup or your coil hasn't set good on the bottom. You know, there's little notches that the coil has to sit in there. And once you screw that coil up, there's absolutely no way that the tank can leak. So something has gone wrong in the user.
Maybe the inside O-ring.
O-ring or something like that. scan that little QR code that came into your box and look at his videos that Phil has done.
That's very surprising to me because, I mean, even I've had the Aries seep and leak on bad builds or whatever. I've never had a Zenith seep or leak. So
will INNOKIN come out with a stainless steel coil for the Zenith? Yes. It's in the pipeline. First, we got this 3D coil coming out with the Z tank, and then the next one is going to be a stainless steel. We don't want to flood the market with coils as well too, because I think that the vape shops have a hard time with the coils that are coming out. But definitely a stainless steel will come out. What does blue drop mean? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm here, a smoker who badly wants to start vaping and quit smoking. All right.
Okay.
We'll get to you in a little bit.
Who
all
is
right.
that?
𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗹 𝗃𝗃𝗺. I'm sure I butchered that name.
Okay.
Take another phone call.
Phone calls.
361. You're on the air with 𝗃𝗵𝗶 and Hawaiian Phil.
Miami Vice.
Well, I really want to say thank you to you guys. I'm a long-time listener and a first-time caller.
Oh, excellent. Welcome.
It's Patrick.
No, it's Patrick. How did you know that?
I know everything, buddy.
You really do. Okay.
What's up, Patrick?
So one of the things that you probably addressed it on a previous smoker show, but I really think that we need to address the fact that vaping doesn't actually feel exactly the same as smoking, and a lot of times people will get their first setup and they go into the store, or they go into the store and get their first setup or whatever, and they take that first drag and that really heaviness in the chest, make them cough, and they say, "Oh, this is too harsh." And the counter staff, the first thing they do is, "Oh, well, maybe you need to drop your neck down." And that's not always the case. Usually that, you've got to transition away from smoking, and the heaviness of vape is not the same as smoking. So it does feel different.
Yeah.
And it's something that, that we need to, really train the counter staff, that the experience is going to feel different at the beginning.
Yeah. That's a very good point, Patrick.
It's a good point. It's something that we've talked about several times on the show, Patrick. It's actually something that we bring up specifically in the workshop that Dimitri and I have been doing, the Back to Basics workshop that we've been doing at some of the vape shops and the distros and things. It's dropping the nicotine is always a fear for me, right? Dropping the nicotine, because then you're not going to get the nicotine satisfaction. You might adjust to what you think is a more comfortable draw or a more comfortable experience, but then you're not getting your nicotine, so you're defeating the purpose. You're not getting satisfied, and you could potentially go back to smoking. What I like to say is, and I'll do it one more time, is that the first time you had a cigarette, you had that heavy feeling. You had that choking feeling. You coughed and you hacked, yet you went back for the second drag and the third drag and the second cigarette and the third cigarette and the second pack. And before you know it, you're not coughing anymore. You're used to it. And now you're a smoker. You're addicted to smoking, right? So, and this is important for the vape shops to explain that it does feel a little bit different. You may have this experience. We can do things like maybe increase the VG, but keep the nicotine. We could do things like maybe try nic salts, but keep the nicotine. But just work through it, okay? Work through it. Maybe take smaller drags. Maybe lower your wattage a little bit. There's a lot of things that you could do, but just give the healthier alternative all the same chances that you gave that cigarette, because you gave the cigarette a lot of chances and you got used to it. Right? You work through it and you got used to it. Let's do the same thing with the healthy alternative.
I think that a cigarette requires work, Patrick. I think it requires work. A cigarette is based on your draws a lot too, right? So the cigarette, you actually have to work it, where a vaporizer does a lot of the work for you. You don't have to draw on a vaporizer like you draw on a cigarette. You don't have to hold it in kind of like you hold the cigarette as well too. So I think that's all kind of the stuff that employees should be trained, especially going into 2019, man. I'm telling you, the competition will be fierce. Big Tobacco is coming very strong. They're purchasing some of these vaporizer companies. They have access to smokers. And by golly, man, if you're not prepared in today's market, if you're a vape shop or vape shop owner and today and you're just allowing your employees to run your store, you're going to be in big trouble in 2019. I'm telling you, more and more vape stores are going to close. They're going to try to figure out why. And the why is because we're not bringing new customers inside. So very good point, Patrick. Thanks for bringing it up. And just a little plug for Patrick. He does a show on my network, on Smoke Free Radio Network, every Saturday night called Son of Liberty.
How come you never invited me on the show?
Well, I mean, it's not safe for work.
Oh, it's not safe for work? Oh. So
don't want to get into that shit show.
Okay.
That's a lot of drama.
Whoa, all right. I stay away from the drama. Sorry, Patrick. I'm with you in spirit, brother.
You know, let Demetrius pick on you about that shirt. That shirt is on fire, dude.
Come on, Patrick. Come on, brother.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll see if I can find another Hawaiian style, something else. I can do a little wardrobe change right in the middle of it.
Happy New Year, Patrick.
Happy New Year. I'm seeing a lot of people here. Some people drop down on their nicotine. I think that's
great.
fine. If you're still not smoking, that's great. But like Dolores says, she's still on 12 for 2 years now after doing 18. I see somebody here from Marshall. Marshall still vapes in 18. Guys, I've been vaping since 2009, and I'm still on a 12. Still on a 12 milligram. You know why? Because it satisfies me. Because if I get the experience from a 12 milligram e-liquid, that was similar to what I got from smoking, and that's why I stay where I am.
And you can pace yourself with that as well, too. Your body knows exactly how much you need to vape for the day to get the nicotine.
Right, and that's what I'm going to try to point out. I know a lot of people who come up to me and said, "Yeah, I'm all the way down to a 1.5 milligram." Well, how much do you vape a day? Well, my bottle of e-liquid is about this big, right? And that's how much I go through a day. What I go through a day is maybe 2.5 fills of that tank right there. I mean, that's what I go. I said 2.5 fills. But So, but again, if you're not smoking, you're doing something right, right? If you're dual using, and when I say dual using, I'm talking about vaping and smoking. Well, then maybe we need to adjust something for you. We need to figure it out. We need to, because, sure, cutting back on cigarettes is a good thing. Getting rid of cigarettes is an even better thing. Yeah. So let's figure out what we can do.
Hashtag you don't know nicotine. Search it on Twitter. It's a new film being developed by Aaron Biebert. We as an industry need to stop buying into this nicotine fear-mongering propaganda that the government is doing, for crying out loud. Nicotine is benign as caffeine. It's a stimulant, okay? So let's stop with, we're going to get people off nicotine. We're not here to do that. We're here to get people to stop combustible tobacco. That's what we're here for. So don't be afraid. I will tell you, with my experience and all the professional scientists that I've talked to over the last 10 years, nicotine is probably the least benign in our liquid than all the other ingredients that go in there. So don't be afraid of nicotine. To stay off combustible tobacco, you need to have that intake of nicotine. You need to do it. You need to do it right. All right. So
there's Scott. Hi, Scott. Say hi to Scott.
Hey, Scott. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my friend.
ST Vapes. Certainly appreciate you hanging out, and thanks for sending people over as well too. We really appreciate it. Again, the goal is stay off cigarettes. Yep. What do you need to stay off cigarettes? And you need to have nicotine intake to stay off cigarettes. And listen, maybe in a week you go from 18 to 3. That's great. That's fantastic. As long as you're going to stay off cigarettes. But when you feel that urge to smoke a cigarette, you wake up in the morning, you're stressed, you had a bad day at work, you got in an argument with your wife or your significant other, or she's bitching about, or she's on that time of the month, and you have to have that cigarette, bump your nicotine up. Don't be afraid. Just because all you got is a 3 milligram sub-ohm, and whatever you have, pick up a little pod, put a little higher nicotine inside. By the way, look how cute my pod is. Look, I got my puppy on it, Lulu.
Where's mine?
I don't know.
You don't care.
But anyway, yeah. So what we're trying to do is people off combustible tobacco. That's all we're here for. The rest of it is
that's our goal. I saw a comment before. When is the e-cig industry going to take itself seriously and separate itself from the juvenile e-cig industry?
Never.
Yeah. I just I rejected a couple reviews, a couple of products to come into me just this past week, because you should have seen some of the graphics that they had on these stick batteries, and I can't do it. I know, I look at some stuff with lights on occasion. I like lights, and I guess I don't see the whole light to young generation. I don't see that. Yeah. But like when you see a device that's covered in cartoon characters, that to me is different, and I'm not going to accept anything like that. Yeah. I think that we need to step it up, but the majority of people are not going to care about that. And I get it from an advanced vapors perspective. I get it. But there has to be a distinction at some point if we want the vape industry to continue to operate independently. And unfortunately, we have done it all to ourselves. So when you see Big Tobacco, when you see Altria coming in buying Juul, when you see these big corporations gathering these chains of shops and buying them up to eventually, a couple years down the line, open their own alternative nicotine distribution points for IQOS and Juul and some of these other products, they're going to put us all out of business. And I'm not saying that from a capitalistic standpoint of a free market. I'm saying that it's not going to be the vape industry as we know it. I don't care who sells the vaporizer, but don't
sit there and wonder 6 months from now, where did I go wrong and why did my business go out? And then you start blaming the government, you start blaming the reviewers, you start blaming every Tom, Dick, and Jerry, your staff, your employees, when what you should be blaming is yourself because you changed the direction. You opened up a shop to help people quit smoking, and then your shop turned into be catering only to advanced vapors.
And that's what we're seeing a lot from the shops here, which is something that I wish that we didn't see happening here, or at least if the shops do cater to that, at least they could maybe identify a smoker who walks in the door and can still ask them the proper questions to deliver them to or to guide them to a product that is going to work successfully to them and not give them, you know, a baby beast and a 250 watt mod to start, right?
𝗧𝗵𝗲, I have used your advice of dual use being a lower mg and also keeping a higher mg. Nick, also solid advice. Thank you. That's from both of us, but thanks a lot. We appreciate the comment. And
is that what Bill does? Bill just texts them to you, and that's how you know.
Yeah.
So Bill is like the Wizard of Oz behind the
Absolutely
scenes.
is. We couldn't do it without him. All right, this person's been waiting for 13 minutes. So let's bring them in. 323, you're on the air with 𝗵𝗵 and Hawaiian Phil. Hello.
323.
Don't be shy. Going once.
They were waiting so long.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Am I on?
Yeah.
No, I know that voice.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Are you in China or are you in California?
No, I'm in California.
Oh, okay. Thank God. I want you waiting 13 minutes being out of China. Turn into a $5,000 phone call again.
No, not this time. Well, Happy New Year, boys.
Happy New Year to you.
And I'm surprised you guys aren't drinking on this wonderful day.
We will. After the show's over with, we will. We will. Don't worry. We got it ready. We're marinating it right now.
Oh, very good. So when are you going back to China?
We don't know yet. I think February, maybe January, February, somewhere around there.
All right. Actually, I leave tomorrow.
Oh, do you? Well, we'll see you there then.
We will be the first ones to let you know.
Keep the chicken feet warm for us. We'll get on our way.
I've made a commitment to myself and Dimitri that I will officially try
we'll be having
chicken feet. Chicken feet is one of those few things that we've stayed away from, but I'm going to go ahead and partake.
Take us to the best chicken feet place.
Yes.
Oh, no problem. I'll be glad.
Hey, Brian, what's your New Year's resolution, buddy?
I don't have one right now.
Okay.
All right.
To be a better person.
Oh,
all right. That's
good.
good.
Nice guy, that's a good resolution.
What is your New Year's Eve resolution?
Start working out.
To start working out?
Yeah, lifting weights.
Okay. My New Year's resolution is to stop eating late at night.
Okay.
Okay.
Deal.
All right.
I'm gonna check up on it.
Hey, so
Yeah.
what do you guys think about that new truth.org commercials going on with the foghorn and
Yeah. I mean, look, Brian, it's something that the government is going to do. You know, they're using this juuling thing to our disadvantage, and they're grasping onto something that they can support. They can't come out and say vaping is bad, even though we have the studies to prove that it's not bad or not as bad as cigarette smoking. So what they're using is they're using the fact that kids are picking up on this product and they're turning it against the entire industry. This is all just a calculated play by this gang up of public health, government, and big companies to eliminate the small vapor industry. That's all it is.
And hey, what do you think about I saw this viral video going around about the vape shop.
The vape shop owner?
Oh my God.
It just made us look silly. You know what's really sad about that, Brian, is that over 10 million people saw that video. A lot of people that don't smoke and don't vape have the perception that this is what vaping and this is what the vape shop is. So in my opinion, that video hurt the industry way more than the other ads, because somebody in their right mind is not going to go into a vape shop to try vaping when they're smoking if they believe that this is the atmosphere they're going to go into. I would like to see a viral video of somebody saying that vaping is not as bad as smoking. That's what I would like to see go viral, but unfortunately we can't get that to go viral. All the bad stuff goes viral. So It was silly. I didn't share it.
Well, you know.
At least 5 people shared it on my wall, but I didn't share it.
Yeah, that's not something I would share. That's just unnecessary drama, I think. And it actually made both parties look bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, one be worse than the other. Yeah.
But thank you, Brian. I hope you have a happy new year with health, love, and happiness, brother. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Did you watch the Rose Parade today?
No.
Oh, so you didn't see the China float break down and disrupt the whole?
No.
No.
See it. No.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That wasn't Brian. That wasn't made at your factory, was it?
I was about to say, I could pick a few companies that could have sponsored that one.
You're gonna get it when I see you, Phil.
All right, good. Yeah. And I look forward to it, my friend.
All right, Ryan. Have a good one,
Talk
buddy.
to you soon.
Yeah, happy New Year.
We
Happy
love
New
you,
Year.
brother. See ya.
To Dolores asked a funny question. She said, "Stop eating what after night?"
Everything.
No. There is still one thing that this is a PG
Yeah,
show.
Halo Top.
Yeah.
You can have that after.
That's not what I was talking about.
Halo Top,
That's
pork
not-
skins. What
still-
I was eating.
still-
Those are good snacks.
You're
You can
still
have those
not getting
snacks.
it.
I'm trying to avoid it.
Okay.
I'm trying to avoid it. But yeah. So New Year's resolutions for me will be to continue to educate. I mean, personally, for my personal goals, I got to start lifting weights because I've lost weight and I'm like I got
No,
I'm just
I think you
I
look
just want
beautiful.
to lift some weights and tighten up a little bit. That's my personal. But as far as vaping is concerned, my goal is to keep the vape shops alive in 2019. The only way to do that is to educate us. So we're going to continue these workshops. We got 𝗬𝗵𝗃 Vapers lined up to go over there, Jeff, and do a workshop for them. We have, I think, Mad Vapes and a couple other chains up there in New York that are interested in doing it. So for our goal is obviously continue putting out products for MTLers and for smokers and all that, and to keep the vape shop alive. And the only way to keep the vape shop alive is to change the entire image of vaping and attract smokers back into the vape shop.
I totally agree. I mean, that's really, my goal in 2019 is to, continue the course that I'm doing, continue to do the reviews, put a lot of heart and effort into to this show, do the workshops with you at the different locations, but also try to continue to think about how we can reach more smokers, how we can show that this technology, it's not just for the young, it's for everybody. It could benefit everybody who smokes cigarettes today. And they don't need to fear the technology and the word vaping. We've got to get a more positive perspective on what it is that we do. That's why I'm so proud to be involved with this show.
Yeah. And listen, where do you find smokers? Word of mouth. If a smoker quits, usually he hung out in a little behind a dumpster somewhere smoking with other people. If he quits smoking, his friends are going to ask him, "Oh, you want to go back to the dumpster and have a cigarette?" Because that's usually where smokers go hide at this point. Like, it's been ostracized. Like, I'm advocating even for smokers. Why are we putting these people back in a dumpster? Let them smoke a cigarette, crying out loud. But his friend, I'm serious. What happened to our rights as citizens and our freedom, for crying out loud? But his friends are going to ask him, "You want to go in the back and smoke a cigarette?" He's going to say, "No, I don't. I'm using whatever. I'm using vaporizer now."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, is it working for you?" "Yeah, I've quit for a week now." "Where did you get it?" "I got it at Phil Love of House of Vapor," right? Or wherever it was, whatever it was. And that's going to send you customers. Every person you help quit in a vape shop will bring you 10 customers in a year. Guaranteed. I guarantee that. And trust me, shops out there do this and they're successful with it. You just can't hang on to what is the latest and the greatest hype juice. That's what we need to bring in, and that's what's going to keep us in business, because that will not keep you in business.
No, it won't.
Especially when HPHC listing comes next year. But anyway, don't get me started on that. That's for another episode.
You have another call. How exciting! All these calls tonight. What did you do? You got to actually click the button. There you go.
I'm sorry. 250. You're on the air with Hawaiian Phil and Dimitri.
I just want to thank the young man on the left for taking care of the senior. I mean, I heard he cooked him dinner and everything. I know he didn't help him dress to match his Skechers.
Have that pen.
It's so wonderful seeing a skinny young fella like you helping an old man.
Hold on.
Poor Bill.
There you go.
What's up, Bill, darling?
I love you too, Phil.
Yeah.
What is your New Year's resolution, Bill?
I don't really have. I don't know what to do for the new year with everything happening, so I'm just going to keep plugging along, trying to keep track of things with everyone else, and hopefully, if I see smokers, convince them to switch while we can.
Yeah. Well, I think your New Year's resolution should be to stop picking on me for my Skechers. That's what I think. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. Okay, true story. Dimitri found. Okay, So Dimitri starts picking on me about my age because my 50th birthday is coming up here pretty soon. It's rapidly approaching. So Dimitri goes on to AARP to find out how old you have to be to join AARP. And it turns out you have to be 50. He looks at me, he goes, you got to sign up. You got to sign up. He goes, you have to get the membership card. I said, why? He goes, because it's going to make for great video. It's going to be
a great photo op. The other day, I made reservations to Ruth Chris Steakhouse Thursday night. So we're all going to take our wives out to have dinner at the steakhouse. And they said, do you have a special occasion? And I said, do you have a senior citizen menu for my friend that's going to order off of the menu?
Hey, you know what? People should look as good as I was 50 years old.
But Bill, Happy New Year to you and your family, my friend. We want to thank you.
The best has been when you guys have gone to the hotels and told them that you had just gotten married.
I know. That's really, really funny.
Honeymoon specials.
That's really, really funny. But listen, Happy New Year to you, Bill, and to your family. And we thank you for all the hard work that you do for us.
Really quick comment?
Yes.
Yeah. One really quick comment about the viral video that everyone keeps talking about. One thing to remember, we haven't seen what happened beforehand. Because I've actually been in shops where people have purposely gone in, trolled people, got them absolutely furious on completely different subjects, and then started taping just like, they didn't like my shirt, and they tried kicking me out. I've been so pleasant. So it just seemed too much of a setup, the way...
Oh, I agree. I agree that the whole thing was set up. Absolutely, I agree.
I just wanted that juice right there, and he had to go over and look to see which one he...
Yeah, I agree that it was a setup, but the average person that's going to see that is not going to understand that. They're going to say, well, this is just a douche atmosphere, and I don't want to go in there to quit smoking. So, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And the guy did instigate and kept pushing on. The employee's reaction was ridiculous, too. But, you know, man, I don't even want to talk about it, Bill. I swear to God, it's gonna get me raged, and I'm in a good mood. I don't want to ruin it.
Don't get raged.
But Happy New Year to you, Bill, and thanks for all the hard work that you do for.
Yeah, Bill, thanks for all the support.
Quick question for both of you. What would you suggest to all shops to help convert smokers? If you could say one thing to them.
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold, and we'll answer that question. That's a very, very good question. Happy New Year to you once again.
I like that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. So the question is, what is the one thing? I'll let you go first, and then they'll give them 2 points instead of just 1 point.
So a couple things I would suggest. Number one, what you like may not be what the other person likes, or what you need might not be what the consumer needs. Okay, so you really have to ask the correct questions, and you have to be educated as a person who works in the vape shop to properly guide the person to the correct product for that person. Mouth to lung is not for everybody. Direct lung is not for everybody. Nic salts are not for everybody. So you really have to be able to, the same way you have to get the right e-liquid for the right tank, or the right wattage for the right coil, you have to get the right product for the right person, right? And that's a conversation. That's something that's gonna take time, and there's got to be some kind of conversation there. And it can't be just about what you like. Therefore, what I like, therefore they must like it too. It's going to work for them. So, I mean, and most important, have the products available, have the nicotine strengths available, have the PG-VG ratios available that a new vapor is going to need, right? That would be my recommendation.
I've been very, very happy that some vape shop owners have reached out to me, and they said they've reached out to LUNAR ROVER, to bring their liquids in, because they, generally where they shop, they don't have this variety. It's usually 036 and all the hype liquid that is out there. So it's really good that through this show, that some people have discovered some other stuff as well too, and the naked and the 5-pound stuff as well too, that goes up to a higher milligram. The biggest advice that I can give to a vape shop is to educate the employee. Don't let the employee run your shop. A lot of these vape shop owners really need to get back into the reason why they opened up the vape shop, why they did it in 2014 and 2015. Even if you grew and you opened 3 and 4 locations, and now you're wearing Yeezys and you're driving a Lamborghini, it doesn't make any difference. You need to go back and to educate your employees, and constantly educate your employees. I've heard so many times people say, well, I got my manager handling the purchasing. It's like me being at the restaurant and saying, well, I'm just going to let my employee go over there and order lamb chops and beef for next week. They haven't checked the prices or where he's buying from or what type of meat he's buying. You know, they need to get back into the hands-on.
You should have control of your business.
You need to have control of your business. And the employees should run the shop, not the other way around. You don't want to let the customer dictate what you're going to bring in, what you're going to carry, and what customers you're going to tend to. So I think employee continuing education is really, really important. Making adjustments as you go along. This is some of the stuff that we talk about in the workshop. If you got somebody that's a 40-year-old lady that comes in to quit smoking and you're using a double stack 𝗵𝗵𝗃 behind the counter, you've lost that customer immediately. You need to be able to put that device down and pick up something that's smaller, something that you're trying to sell to this customer, to make them feel comfortable, make smokers want to come back to the vape shop and not just vapers. I think that is the biggest advice that I can give for 2019.
Well done. I think if you combine both of our comments, we'd be much better off.
Yeah. And then if you want to just reach out to us and we can come and do a workshop at your place, I think that's something that we're more than willing to do, because I think it's going to take educational seminars like that with the employees to be able to have that personal connection and bring them back to what they originally got into this industry for. 215-383-5752. If you have any questions or comments, give us a call. We do have some wonderful kits back here, and we do have some wonderful e-liquid.
Come on, smokers! There, all you got to do is call up. That's all you got to do.
We have some wonderful kits and some wonderful e-liquid.
Tell us your story.
Tell us your story, and we'll try to get you set up, and you know, and we'll try to hook you up. But back to the 2019 resolution. As a political guy, and you know I'm a political guy.
You are definitely a political guy.
I monitor legislation on a state level, on a federal level, on an international level, but I also monitor acquisitions and business deals that are happening behind closed doors. And when I go to these seminars or in these conferences in DC, I like to talk with big tobacco lobbyists, big tobacco CEOs, smaller tobacco companies that have entered the game. I mean, National Tobacco is a huge company that does not sell cigarettes. However, they sell everything else, you know, rolling papers and small cigars and everything else. But big portion of their portfolio has been purchasing VaporBeast, VaporShark, some of these companies that are around. Now they're buying retail shops as well, too. So as these companies are coming in, keep in mind that they can come in, they have huge money behind them, and they can crush the independent vape shop by pricing, by what they're offering, and who they're reaching out to. They have a direct line to the smoker because the smoker buys their products as well, too. So the prime example is going to be, don't be surprised if you open up a pack of Marlboro, and inside that pack of Marlboro, there's a coupon for you to buy Juul. Can you imagine if we could do that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we could open up a pack of cigarettes and have our Zenith tank in there, or Lunar or Rover have a coupon for the liquid? That's the direct connection to the smoker that we don't have. So as that's coming in 2019, it is vital for the vape shop to go back and just do just a little self-evaluation of where they are. Look at their customer base. Look at their, you know, if they're collecting data from their customers, look who's coming in, how many conversions they have every week. If you're not converting 5 to 10 customers a week, you have no future in this business. Yeah, it's gonna be ending. By the way, Vapor says hi as well too, Andrew. I know he sent you a bunch of vape bands, didn't he?
Oh, is that
juice? Yeah, that's him. Andrew.
Oh, I didn't know. Andrew,
you can tell from his picture.
Oh, no, I can't tell from his picture. Andrew, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. And I still am going to give you that mention in the videos. He sent me like 2,000 vape bands.
That's very nice.
And we'll give some away. If some smokers will call, I'll throw the vape bands in there too.
Put some vape bands in there.
Very, very special.
For the Zenith as well, too, since you can't disassemble a tank. It's a hell of a vape band from Andrew.
That's right.
Yeah, but listen, this is very, very serious. So when we're talking about a commitment, all right? So let's get to the resolution part of it. Every new year, smokers, like I did, you know, when I was a smoker, I used to say, all right, this is the year I'm going to quit smoking. And eventually I failed, right? So what is that kept us back in 2010 when we started vaping, or 2009 for you? What kept us from going back to smoking? Number one, we were determined to quit. You have to have that. You have to have that desire and say, I'm going to do it. If you're half-assing anything in life, including smoking,
it's not going to work. Including quitting smoking,
including quitting smoking, it's not going to work. So once you have that down, which is the determination to quit smoking, and this, of course, is going out to the smokers and the dual users that are out there. Number two, you have to find the product that fits the description of what you want to do, meaning how many cigarettes you smoke a day, how dependent you are on nicotine, what brand you smoke, Where do you work? You know, do you work in an office? Do you work construction? You know, you have to find the right setup. It's the questions that we train employees at vape shops to ask a smoker to make sure that, you know, if you're working at an office, right, something like this is great. It's small, it's sleek, it's round. You can just slip it in your pocket. You can go to the bathroom, take a couple puffs, you know, while you're using the bathroom or whatever, get your nicotine fix. This will be great. But if you're working construction, guess what? This ain't gonna cut it. You put this in your back pocket and you squat, you know, to, you know, pick up a center block or something, it's gonna crack in half. So maybe the Exceed box from JOYETECH, which is a little bit smaller, it's a little bit beefier. It doesn't have any buttons to make any adjustments around the box. So even if you put it in your pocket, it's not gonna change the wattage adjustments. They all happen from the top. Maybe this is a little bit better for you, right? So once you find the hardware that really fits you, then you have to find the nicotine level and the flavor of what you like, the two most important things, right? So you're a heavy Marlboro smoker, you smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, you're gonna need that 18 milligram hit, and you need that tobacco to, you know, give you that same similar taste in your mouth in order for you to get off that cigarette hump first.
That's right.
So that is a resolution that you can follow through to, but unfortunately what we're hearing is that we went here and we didn't get the help. And we're here to tell you that if you're gonna go into a store, you're not gonna get that help, turn around and walk out and go into another shop in your area. I did get a question, shops that you recommend in Rochester.
In Rochester?
Yeah.
That'd be an easy one. That's
ZFO.
ZFO.
ZFO. The ZFO.com is the website.
Chris will take really good care of you. He's
and
got
Darrell. They're just awesome people. We were just at
awesome people.
Awesome people. Yeah,
They're
awesome people too, as well too. And Chris has a nice ass.
We were just there. You were hitting on. You guys were doing things behind my back on Facebook the other day. They're really terrific. Really terrific people. Very nice people. They've got a good selection of really everything that you want. But ZFO, I mean, since the days of Zen, was very focused on conversion, right? They have the products for converting people. They have the nicotine strengths, the PG-VG ratios, salt mix. I mean, they've got it all, and they're very focused on converting. Again, nice people. That's where I would recommend to go in Rochester.
Yeah. Also, question: can you reach out to a vape shop in Lafayette or New Berea, Louisiana? I really feel that would benefit from a workshop. They have to reach out to us. Yeah. We don't reach out to them. But 𝗃𝗃sphere Vapers is down there. 𝗃𝗃sphere Vapers are great. They have 2 locations down in that area in Lafayette. I think it's close. Great vape shop, caters to a lot of the smokers.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just read this comment from Corona right here?
That is a sexy shirt feel.
Thank you.
Well, Doug is a very nice guy, but he's colorblind, and you know he doesn't see very well as well too. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's not. I have had great luck getting soldiers to stop smoking by trading their pack of smokes for a vape system. That's a fantastic idea. Bring your pack of smokes inside, get them set up with something. Listen, this hardware is inexpensive. You can get this $25 retail. Mm-hmm. You can give this away to a smoker in your vape shop if they buy a bottle of liquid. It's not gonna hurt financially. It's just like placing an ad in a newspaper. If you've paid wholesale $13-14 for this, you just give it away to somebody with a bottle of liquid. Let them start vaping, and they're gonna come back, and you're gonna get it tenfold.
Yeah, it's not silk, by the way, Doug. It's not silk.
Will you be ever coming to Canada anytime for some event? We've been invited to an event in Toronto that's coming up. I think there's a lot of drama going on with it.
Yeah.
But we've been invited to that event. If it goes on, I think
we'll definitely be coming back up to Canada without a doubt. One of the things that we're really excited about that we've got coming up is the Hall of Vape. Okay, so if you don't know, that the Hall of Vape is in Germany, right? It's probably one of the biggest vape shows in the world at this point. Ira does a fantastic job with that show. And we're going to be doing the Smoker Show live from the event. So that might sound like we're just going to do this show from the event. And no, that's not what we're going to be doing. We're going to have a booth set up there with, our sponsors, and we're going to have product there, and we're going to get people off of smoking. Ira's doing something with flyers to
around town. He's going to be going around town and setting up at bars and coffee shops where a lot of smokers hang out, and he's going to give them free entry to the event. And then they're going to come inside the booth before they go into the event, because even the greatest vape show in the world has a lot of the advanced vapor gear. And a smoker walks into a vape show in today's world, they get lost. They're like, oh, this is a circus. So what we want to do is we want to grab them before they go in, give them a vaporizer, explain to them about vaping, 10, 15 minutes, not overload, get them vaping, used to how to vape, and then send them in the show. And afterwards, they can find other stuff as well, too. Very excited to do that. And by the way, hi to Toonie. as well too. Happy New Year to you, my
And-
friend.
and,
All
you know,
the blessings.
We would love to. We would love for other vape shows, other vape shows, vape events to contact us and have us do it there as well. I think it's been years since I've seen anything like this at vape shows, where there are like booths, for help. Or to get products into people's hands or to answer questions. There might be a little bit of it going on, but there's really no focus on it. And what better place to get people excited about vaping and starting in vaping than at a vape show, right? But unfortunately, a lot of the vape shows that we go to and we see, it's all 0.3, 6, high VG, high wattage direct lung stuff, which is great. I mean, if you're going to do a vape show, that's where that stuff needs to be.
Absolutely.
But it's still a vape show, and there are still smokers out there that we want to attract, right? Yeah. And there needs to be stuff for them there.
Corona Doug, I went to 4 vape shops last week. Not one of them knew what MTO was or had any beginner product. And that's the issue.
This is what we hear over and over and over again. This is the problem.
Hall of Vape will be in Stuttgart, Germany. Yes, absolutely.
Stuttgart.
And
say Schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Yep, can't do it.
Yeah, and I see your call. I'm going to pick up in just a second, Dolores. I just want to make sure we go. Somebody ordered BLK from Lunar Rover. I hope you use Vaping Greek, not 𝗵𝗺 for your coupon code, and you got 59. All right, yeah, I see that somebody's being silly in the chat. We just go ahead and ban him. We ain't got time for that.
Ain't got time for nonsense.
It's a new year.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and bring. I think this is Dolores.
It could be Dolores.
Hi.
Hello. She's listening.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Great.
Good.
How are you?
What's going on?
Well, I mean, I'm just sitting here next to this lovely Italian stallion and doing a show. Look at that.
What could be better than this?
How about you? What are you doing?
I seen the video of you cooking.
Oh, did you enjoy that?
Your kitchen there, Phil.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that zucchini.
Did you see the way
cucumber?
Did you see the way he handled that cucumber?
Yeah, I was really good at it.
Yeah.
But if you watch the quick video that I shot after that of him doing the kebab, I mean, like, if that doesn't get you off, I don't know what will, really. Should I say get you off on this show? Probably
you
not.
can. I mean, no, you shouldn't say that. But
okay.
I made some tzatziki today. I was out of this world. It was really good.
I didn't get to see that one yet, but yeah, I started with my Nautilus tanks.
Yeah.
The old Nautilus.
Sure.
I just can't seem to get anything. Like, I'm on the Nautilus 2 right now. There's nothing out there that will give me the same satisfaction as that one tank.
Well, have you tried the Zenith tank?
Explain that. Yeah, it doesn't give me the throat hit on it. Same juice.
With the same resistance coil?
Same coil, the 1.8.
Well, Dolores, if that's what does it for you, then stay with it. I mean, I always give that advice. If you're happy with what you have, and this is what's keeping you off cigarettes, why? I mean, I know we get into this, like, we always want to have newest and the greatest but listen, the Nautilus is a great tank, and it's helped millions of people quit smoking. If that's what works for you, stay on it. And my wife used the Nautilus 2 before the Zenith came along, and she was very, very happy on it for almost a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Nautilus user. Yeah, I was a Nautilus user for a long. Yep, I was a Nautilus user for a long time, and then I moved to the Kabuki, which uses the same coil as the Nautilus. And I was there on that Kabuki exit for a long time. I've since moved on to some other stuff, but like we say, if it works for you and you're not smoking, that's a good thing, right?
Shout out to WT Vapes. Thanks, buddy, for coming in. Yes, go ahead, Dolores.
I ordered the Nautilus 2 Pro S.
Yeah.
The Pro 2S. I haven't gotten it yet. I hear it's good.
Yeah, it's like a Nautilus 2 with a sliding top tank instead of having to remove that whole cage, which is something that was desperately needed.
I can't stand this Nautilus bottom fill thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you're not smoking, hon, that's all that really matters to us.
Yes, sir. I went from 18 to 12, and I'm sticking to it.
Stick to it. Don't get away. Don't get away from it. But listen, hey, Dolores, how about we send you a T18? Have you tried the T18?
Yes, I'm not eating those 𝗃𝗽𝗲 chips no more.
No. I'm sorry. The T18, the Endura T18.
Oh, no, I did not.
All right, how about we send you that one?
I
There we go.
All right. Hey, Dolores, what kind of liquid do you like?
That's what I was going to ask you. I like 12, but you have anything like caramel mocha style?
Oh, you like those? You like coffees and caramels and custards and stuff like that?
Right.
All right, let's see what we can match up for you with one of our sponsors. We'll get the T18 out to you. Just send and get a hold of me on Facebook, Dolores, and I'll take care of you.
Yeah,
okay?
or send it to me, facebook.com/VapingGreek or facebook.com/𝗵𝗵 Bill's going to put it in the chat. Send us a message, and we'll send you a T18, and then we'll send you some 12 milligram sweet caramelly stuff that we're going to find here. And then, oh, look at these sexy legs. This is so sexy. Look at that. You need to shave. And also, what I want you to do is 2 weeks from now is call back and tell us how you like it if you're getting a throat hit from it.
What I want you to do is 2 weeks from now is call back.
I'm hearing myself.
That's you.
Dolores.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, Dolores.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Love ya.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Get you on Messenger.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. There she goes, everybody. Dolores. But yeah, I see this is Vaping Greek or Vaping Greek. Yeah, it's definitely Vaping Greek, my friend. I saw another comment here that says that the closest MTL that you see in a vape shop is a pod. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not against pods. Not at all.
I need to go on a rant there too, but I need to find the name of that device. You remember the name of that device?
I don't.
All right, I'm going to find the name of that device.
But listen, I'm not against pods. I use pods myself. I just don't agree that this should be the only solution for a starter because we did not start on pods, right? The things that got us off was the Nautilus on this iStick or an Ego C4 on a Ego variable voltage battery. I just don't believe that it's a good introduction to vaping, but what happens with pods is capacity, battery life, how long it's going to last. I see this as an accessory to vaping more than this should start off people with pods. I think pods are a great tool to combat dual use. I think it's a great accessory when you're going out with your wife or you're going to dinner, you don't want to carry a big device. What I do now is when I go out, I'll have this in the car, then I'll just leave it. Then I'll pick up my little pod and take it in with me if I just want to take a couple of puffs. So the vape shop will survive. It has a balanced variety of everything that is needed for various ways in today's world, in today's market, for people to quit smoking. Did you find it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
All right. So, should I do my rant?
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah.
You like this better?
You changed that?
Yeah, you didn't notice it?
Yeah, I do like that better.
You like that better?
I do like it better.
Okay. So, we talk about matching the right product to the right person, right? We talk about vape shops potentially giving the wrong product to the wrong person when they're first starting. Maybe they recommend a direct lung and what they really need is a mouth to lung.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing all these pods come out,
yeah.
Right? And the pods are really designed, for the most part, most of them are designed for salt nicotine, right? So now we're starting to see things like this little guy come out.
Yeah.
And I actually like the product. I really do. This is from Geek Vape, and it's called the Flint Kit,
yeah.
Right? It's got 3 different power settings, but it's really designed for salt nic.
It says it right there on the front.
It does say it right there, salt nicotine, okay? So, but I think this is going to be another layer of confusion, right, for the vapor. Like for a vapor, somebody who smokes, there's no salt tobacco and non-salt tobacco,
right.
And it's like for the most part, it's all like the same,
right?
Right. But now the person who's making the transition, let's say they go to a vape shop and they see this and they say, "This is cute, this is adorable, I really, really like that," and they get bad information from the vape shop, so they take this home and they put maybe a high nicotine, maybe a 12, maybe an 18, right? And all of a sudden they're like, I'm not feeling anything, right? I'm not getting a throat hit. I'm not getting that because this doesn't have the power to satisfy you at a 12 milligram.
Yeah.
And I think it's another layer of confusion for those people who are trying to quit. But it's also something that, again, it is so important for the vape shop and the employees at the vape shop to be educated to say, okay, look, if you want this product, this is the e-liquid that we need to go to get to satisfy you, right? Because if not, you're going to get this and you're going to put a 12 in there and you're going to be like, wow, this really sucks. I'm just going to go back to smoking. And this is what we have to avoid.
And I love to see that Geek Vape is making product like that. Goes to what we were saying originally. We're saying that, hey, MTL is making a comeback. Yes, but do it right. Do it right. Don't make a product that is designed for salt and nicotine, or you put it on the package. It just creates confusion on the market. You know, I think that when you look at the overall scope of vaping and the stuff that has truly helped people quit smoking, it has been the Nautilus. It has been the Kanger T3S. It has been the Ego CE4. Why are we getting away from that kind of stuff? We need to go back to the basics and the stuff that help people quit smoking.
What was your most memorable thing that happened in 2018?
I mean, in vaping for me, obviously, was releasing the Zenith tank. I think that I was very, very proud that something that we have talked about for the last 3 years. And we tried to do with other companies as well too, at the height of the sub-ohming, of course, where nobody wanted to take a chance, that INNOKIN decided that this was a product that was needed on the market for Nautilus users, for other people that MTL that wanted a variety, that we didn't have a lot of products out there. So finally seeing the design on a package and out in the market, especially in Europe where it's done so well for us, that was a pretty memorable moment, and that we both, you know, have played a part in it, and our names are on there as a team. It made it even more special for me.
Absolutely. I would say that my fondest memory of 2018 would be going to Greece and seeing all of the people go into the vape shops, go to the show that we went to, using the Zenith tank, and the positive comments that we got from not only those people, but also the vape shops saying that this is our go-to tank now for starters, because it number one, it works.
It's easy.
It doesn't come back with issues. It's easy. And outside of the vape shop, there's the support online with the tutorials and the platform Facebook group and, you know, things like that. So I would say that was probably the biggest feel-good moment.
And as far as devices and what I've seen now that has come out, you know, we always try to look for like innovation. I just did not have an moment with anything that came out. I'd like to think that we've pretty much done everything when it comes to cotton and coil. I think that the only thing that changes now is just a few design changes for airflow and, you know, more LED lights on devices. Really, there's nothing out there that came out in 2018 that made me say, wow. I mean, I had some anticipations for the Orion with the Go chip in there. Again, I just don't think it was handled correctly. I think it was too expensive. I think it was too airy for an MTL, which was disappointing. And again, it wouldn't have been innovative. In fact, this is something that came out. If you've been vaping for as long as we have, it's very hard for something to come out and say, wow, this was something like amazing.
The Orion, I mean, the looks of it, the build quality, the feel of it, I think that impressed me. The vape quality did not, though. I don't like. I think it's one of those systems that is trying to be direct lung and mouth to lung, and I think it's not doing mouth to lung good enough. I mean, I would love to carry that around, but you notice I never do, because for me it doesn't give me a good mouth to lung vape. But I will say this: I'll give it to Evolve with replay. Okay, I do like the replay feature, because replay, to me, I think they gave it like kind of a cool name, replay. To me, it's more anti-burn or temperature control for dummies. I mean, that's kind of what it is. I think they've really taken some of the biggest benefits of temperature control and they've simplified it to the point where anybody could really use it. So I got to give it to, once again, give it to Evolve for that technology. I think it's pretty cool.
All right, let me answer a few questions here. Dolores says, why you don't understand temperature control? Well, Dolores, go back. I think it's episode 20. Here, the smoke. We did an entire episode on temperature control. So just because we're doing the show live, there's other 21 episodes behind here. So go back and look at them at your free time. And we actually did a whole episode on temperature control. Let me pull the questions for here. I just want to make sure I got them down. And then, all right. Hold on. Why would my Zenith tank sometimes seep liquid through the field port when closed? Through the field port? Maybe you overfilled, and as you closed it, it caught some liquid inside that field port. And then when you open it and close it, sometimes liquid might be cut underneath here. Condensation, not on the Zenith tank. No condensation goes under where the field port is. Just it seems like it's overfilling.
That's what I would guess. Either that, or like maybe even using the applicator that you're filling it with. You got a little bit of e-liquid caught in that little area.
Yeah. Wood pulp and wicking currently largely using 𝗬𝗵. I think there's an application in MTL coils as well too. Thomas, it's coming on the 3D Plex coil for the Zenith tanks.
Yeah, I saw a couple of questions before. People were asking about mesh for mouth to lung. We've got it out there, guys.
It's already out there,
it's called the Zenith Plex coil. The Plexus coil, and that is mesh for mouth to lung.
Not meth.
Not meth. That was a mistake. But we also have the 3D Plex coming out. Plexus, whatever you want to call it there. Usually you're the one that gets the names wrong, not me. But we've got that coming out as well. Okay, so if you're looking for a mesh type coil for mouth to lung, there's definitely one out there now, and there's going to be two out there very, very soon. And we're not sure if we're going to replace the Plexus with the Plexus
I don't
3D.
think so. We'll see.
We're not sure yet.
We'll see. There was another question that I wanted to see. What is the span life on battery that's enclosed in the device, like the 𝗀𝗵𝗃, for example? What is the lifespan of the battery? And that should fall on the manufacturer, okay? Now, we can tell you generally, like we have tested the 𝗀𝗵𝗃. The 𝗀𝗵𝗃 has been tested for 800 recharges, right? So if you're looking at a lifespan, probably between 1.5 to 2 years, depending on your use, obviously. If you're going to, charge it 3 times a day, it's going to cut down on that lifespan. But generally, I would say 1 year. That's a safe estimation. If this is the only device that you're using and you're charging it maybe once or twice a day, every battery that's being made by a manufacturer should be tested. So we do testing on the equipment, charging and uncharging, and then testing the battery out over a period of tests, and then we come up with a number that we feel is that you're still going to be able to use the device before the battery starts sagging off. Yeah, I mean,
depending on how you vape, it could last a lot longer than a year. Chances are the device is going to fall apart before that battery kind of goes away on you. The things that you're going to notice is it just doesn't hold as much of a charge as it used to. Internal battery devices.
Yeah.
So that's something that you'll notice, and then it'll probably be time. But I mean, I have original MVPs that are still going strong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on how you vape. But you should get a fair amount of time out of an internal battery.
MTL RDA, we've discussed it for about a year now. With Phil put on a MTL RDA, and I talked about it with Daniel in Las Vegas. And my idea was, it's not the same as Daniel's, but it's very, very similar. So I'm a little bit concerned if we do put it out that not Daniel, I know Daniel would never do that, but you know how drama happens in this vape community. But we do have a design. It's actually here on the board. You can't see it, but we do have a design for an MTL RDA. All right, let's take a phone call.
I think if we put out a tank that's round, some drama will come from it.
Yeah,
Like, oh my God, you copied all the other round tanks.
Daniel. Oh. Absolutely. But I did try Daniel's tank in Las Vegas, and it's a fantastic MTL vape.
Well, Daniel's a smart guy. I mean, he's been at that design for several years now, and he finally found somebody that's going to make it for him. And I trust Daniel that if he's going to put out something that is supposed to do something, it's going to do that. So
he got the flack. I saw online somewhere. Someone was bitching at him because the tank's not out yet. I mean, if it's not ready, it's not ready. Why are people bitching? I mean, just give it some time. He wants to have it perfect. I mean, Daniel is a perfectionist.
Actually, Daniel, just take a a little bit longer so we can get ours on the market first.
And then we're going to say you copied
They will say you copied us.
Hey, if nothing else, is going to gather a lot of publicity for both of our tanks.
We got some calls, too.
Yeah, let's get some calls. So who's been waiting for longest now?
8 minutes and 48 seconds.
Go.
Yeah, look at that. I figured that out all on my own.
517, you're on the air with Phil and Dimmy.
I want to say that next time.
Okay.
Can I?
You can do it.
517, you're on the air with Phil and Dimmy. Is that good?
Very good.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Got a bit of a delay there. It's a little disconcerting, but that's okay.
Sorry about that.
It's the Florida internet over here. All the old people live here, so I'm sorry.
Please, do you have to insult all of Florida? I mean, really?
People too. So.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, we're not getting older. We're getting better, ladies and gentlemen, okay?
Fine wine.
Exactly. Silver-haired and beautiful.
That's right. So what can we help you with?
Anyway, we tried vaping about 5 years ago, and then life kind of got in the way, and we went back to Chrome. Well, we kind of broke out the box and found our old vape stuff.
Yeah.
And now I remember why we kind of stopped, because I had T5s and they taste like crap.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about 5-year-old technology, 5-year-old product. So we're gonna fix that right now. Where are you calling from? Michigan? Okay. And when you said we tried vaping, who's we?
Me and my husband.
Okay. Okay, so you're both long-term smokers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of cigarettes do you smoke, and how many packs a day do you smoke?
Well, we've really cut down on our smoking because when we moved into the new house, we don't smoke in the house.
Okay.
We only smoke outside.
Okay.
So that has cut us down to about a pack a day.
It's still a lot.
So we've done pretty good that way.
Okay, good. And what brands do you smoke?
Cheap.
Cheap, yeah.
So I mean, tobacco basically. So let me ask you something. When you tried vaping, did you try any flavors out? Did you find a flavor that you preferred over other flavors?
He likes Cuban, Havana, pipe type thing.
Sure. We got something for
And
that.
my favorite was one that was a little company. I can't remember their name, but it was called 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗹.
Okay.
That sounds like a fruity something.
Yeah, it's like pineapple, orange, mango.
Okay, good.
That's right up my alley. We got from Naked. We have a fantastic for that too.
Yeah, I'm already figuring out what kind of flavors that we're going to
So
send.
this is what was your name again?
Let me ask you another question. When your cigarettes, are they like full strength? Are they light? Are they ultra light?
Regular strength on that. He smokes regular Pall Malls, and I smoke Pall Malls. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. I think that.
Do you have Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, good.
What was your name? I'm sorry. Did you? I don't know if you said your name. I didn't catch it. Just so I know who I'm talking to.
Lori.
Lori.
My name's Lori.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna send a kit for you and a kit for your husband with some liquid. And are you employed? I'm sorry, I have to ask it like that. But do you work? Or where does your husband work?
Yeah, my husband works for a TV station, and I'm semi-retired. I work part-time and retail.
In retail. Okay. Your husband, can you say again what your husband does?
He works at a TV station.
Oh,
here
TV
in
station.
Michigan.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We'll get him with something a little bit smaller, a little bit more.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to send a basal kit for your husband that's a little bit more flat, a little bit more durable. He can have it in his pocket. And for you, we're going to send you this beautiful purple chroma kit with a Zenith tank. We're going to send you some coils. We're going to send you some liquid now that we have your flavor profiles. And just do us a favor, a couple of weeks from now, if you can, just give us a call back and compare this equipment with the previous equipment that you were using and let us know how it goes. If you can cut down a little bit on smoking, we had a little bit of something to do with it, then that would make us very, very happy.
Okay. I don't think I think you guys are both at your limit for friends. I think I just have you on likes.
You don't have to. You can just send me a message. Send me a message, facebook.com, Vaping Greek. It goes into my other inbox. I see it. And then just send me your name, your address. Just remind me it's you and your husband. And then we're going to take care of the rest.
Yeah, you can, even though we're at our maximum friends that we can request, you can still send messages to us.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, I just want
All
to make one point here, one comment. You said your husband works at a TV station, correct?
Yeah, he's an engineer.
Oh, okay. Well, if he can get our product on TV, maybe we should send him the chroma kit and her the basal.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
We're kidding, but yeah, just please get a hold of us and we'll get this out into the mail as soon as we can. Okay.
Hey, nothing would make us happier for your new resolutions to get rid of the Pall Malls. I'm telling you, that would make us feel so good, but mostly it's going to make your health feel good, and that's really important.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has nothing to do with advertising or sales.
Oh, that's okay. Phil's just making a joke.
Yeah,
Listen, we understand how it is. And like I said, just give us a call back when you get the products, and anything that we can do to help you out, just feel free to reach out.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Lori. Have a wonderful
Thanks
evening
so
and a
much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, let me see if I've missed some of the questions here.
We have another call. I'm loving all the calls that we have tonight. This is fantastic.
I'm gonna get to that.
And we let's see, it's 10:30 now, so we have to get to the stocking drawing.
Yes, we will. I just want to make sure that we got on all the questions. Daniel's still talking about his RTA. Hey, listen, I'm really excited about the RTA as much as you are, Daniel, because anything that comes out that's MTL directed, you know, we got the 𝗀𝗵𝗃 the other day from our friends at Stockholm. I think it's a really good RTA. Everything that's new that comes out from MTL, it just makes us feel. It makes us feel really, really good.
We're excited about it. And if you want to continue to talk about it and have us talk about it, just go ahead and click that super chat down there at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, if you send $50 in the super chat, it's going to be a fantastic RTA.
We'll put it on the screen back.
It's going to take a whole lot more.
And I'm kidding. Don't you dare send another super chat, okay? What? Did you click it? Oh, yeah. 260, you're on the air with 𝗵𝗵𝗺 and the lovely Vaping Greg.
Oh, wow.
How's that? That's pretty
really good.
Use my radio voice and everything.
Good.
And nobody's answering.
I don't know. I mean, maybe you scared him off.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, I'm doing good. This is my second call in one evening.
Oh, all right.
The industry, Phil, you talked about something earlier about the pods, and when I go to the last vape shop, there's pods all over the place.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, this industry has been moving so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. I just got delivered yesterday a device that was released years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of these new vape shop owners, they might want to be able to cater to the entire history of this product because, you know, this such and such time ago was released this and that and everything else, and this one was better than that one, and there's just an entire history is packed in such a short period of time.
It really is.
And everybody's needs are so different.
Yeah.
And it's just something I wanted to reiterate with you. And when you started talking about pods, I mean, I go to a vape shop, that's all I see, and I'm an RTA user.
Yeah, and you know, it really the vape shop needs to have variety because it needs to cater to all peoples and all different ways of vaping. And you know, as soon as you cut one group out, that's not a good thing. That's why, you know, we always say, sure, cater to the cloud chasers, cater to the direct lung, but make sure you have that product to get your new customers as well and get people off of the cigarettes. It's so important. And if you have all pods, well, then you may not have something for somebody. And if you have all direct lung, then maybe you don't have something for somebody. If you have all mouth to lung, then you don't have something for somebody. So it's so important to have a variety of products.
But how many new users do you see using the pods? Meaning smokers? Because I don't see any. Meaning all the pods that you're going to see in a vape shop. I don't see any because they're taking these pods and they're selling them to vapers.
Not a lot.
Right?
I work at a liquor store and I see people come in. I've seen maybe one pod in the last year.
Right. Right. So because we're catering it to the existing vapors. But where does the smoker go? He goes and buys the Juul or he buys something else. This is the problem, is that even all the, listen, I'm all for innovation and new products coming out. And China, of course, picks up on the pod craze. Everybody's making a pod. So they put all these pods in the market. And where do they go to? They go to the vape shops that are not catering to smokers. They're catering to the existing vapors. So then the vapor does just like I do, carries, you know, 2 devices and a pod with him, you know.
This is like gadget heaven to me. And there are a lot of people out there that would love to get into it, but they just, you know, they walk in with a vape store, there's 18 pods.
Right. It's still, yeah. Yeah.
It's very overwhelming. You know, you want to have the product to cater to everybody, but then when you walk in there and you see just cases and cases of similar gear, you know, then, you know, again, unless you go in there knowing what you want, you're really at the mercy of what that person behind the counter wants to sell you. How do you know that they don't have an overstock on some product and they're not giving you the best product for you? They're just trying to get out, you know, clear their inventory. You don't know. That's why it's so important to identify a good versus a not good vape shop.
It's got to be a difficult way to pick what you're going to put in your shelves at a store.
Also, the liquid that goes along with a pod is very, very important as well, too, my friend, because, you know, if you're going to take a pod that's going to work really good with 50 milligram nicotine salt and you're going to put a 3 milligram inside, it's just not going to work. And some of these vape shops, the employees just don't care. I'm just going to flat out tell you. They're just there to make a sale, and they'll just give everything. They'll give a 3 milligram with a pod to somebody, and then they leave the store and they're not satisfied and they're not happy. And the pods, because of the way the configuration of the coil is it's very hard for them to work with low nicotine products. I saw a comment from Thomas that says 35% of his smokers pick a pod. Breeze 2. Breeze 2 is not a pod. It's an AIO. There's a difference between an AIO system and a pod system. A pod system, when I'm talking about like a Juno or something like that, a small pod system, that pod system is very, very difficult for somebody to quit smoking with if the nicotine is not correct to match it up that goes along with it. Something like this, right? This is a pod system. In my opinion, the Sprite or the Breeze is an AIO system. But yeah, thanks for calling and bringing that up so we can discuss it. I think that was a very, very good point.
And I like what Praetorian said there.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. I really like what Praetorian said there. Pods should give me the same satisfaction as my regular device with the difference of stealth vape. And that's not what they do.
No.
That is absolutely not what they do.
No, and that's why you see that vapors are picking them up as a dual use device. Right? They're not just using the pod, meaning the vapor has not transitioned fully to a pod. They didn't go from this to carrying a pod only.
There has been no device that looks like that satisfies me at a 12 milligram standard nicotine.
Yeah.
And I think the first person who does it is going to have a pretty successful product on their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But listen, there should be a balance. We've said it multiple times. You should have a wide variety of products, not only to sell, but for people to experience. Let the customer that comes in, meaning the smoker, try this, let him try this, let him try this, let him try a sub-ohm setup, let him experience what vaping and what they enjoy, instead of just selling them something that you just want to get out the door. And I think that's very, very important. Kalimera to everybody from Greece. Yasu Dracon Man, say hi to all the Greek people that are watching too.
Hello, all the Greek people. I feel
Say
what?
Kalimera.
Kalimera.
Yeah, because it's morning now. It's 5:30 in the
Oh,
Greek
is that good morning?
Yeah.
Kalimera.
There you go.
Dimitri cooked me beautiful Greek meal tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
I did. We really enjoyed it. But for the people that are listening, if you're a vapor, you want to call in, we'll give you a kit. If you want to give it to a smoker, do that. Call us in. Let's get that. We want to help. I mean, we have these wonderful sponsors with INNOKIN and JOYETECH and Naked, Five Ponds and Lunar Rover for liquid. We have a good variety of high nicotine liquid here, and we want to pass out these kits to you guys. Even if you're just a vapor and you want to call in to get it for a friend, and then maybe call back. I know we've had a couple people do that as well too. I'm very, very proud to when they report back. I gave it to my friend. He's doing very well. He's cut down on smoking. That always makes us feel good. Yeah. It makes us feel like we're doing something worthwhile. And if you like this video, just give us a like as well too.
Yeah, like the video. Subscribe, please. I don't know why he's going back there. I don't, but I want to. Can I give you a unique Juul perspective? I know I talked to you about this a little bit. Let me.
I'm always down for Juul talk.
Let me go on a Juul perspective, a Juul thing here, and it's not a rant. It's not a rant. It's maybe an interesting perspective because there's a lot of negativity towards Juul right now because of the kids using Juul because they got partially bought by big tobacco. So there's some positives about Juul, there's some negatives about Juul, but here's my opinion on Juul. Okay, first of all, get it out of the hands of the kids. I don't think that's Juul's fault. Okay, I think that's the shops that are selling them. I think it's parents not knowing what their kids are doing. I think there needs to be fines levied. I say fine the store, fine the parents, fine the kids, fine fucking everybody. Let's eliminate this problem, okay? Because Juul does not advertise to young people. I mean, they don't. There's nothing childish about their packaging, about their advertising, anything. So there's one thing, okay? So but here's the thing. Let's just say we got 40 million smokers left in the United States.
Sure.
Let's say 40 million smokers started using the Juul, because obviously Juul has, and especially if they're getting bought out by big tobacco, they're going to have very, very good distribution channels where people are going to see the Juul that they're not seeing products like this. Okay. So now we have 40 million people who are not smoking anymore, but they're using the Juul. Okay. Number one, that's a good thing. A Juul is still vaping, right? It's not smoking. So you eliminate all of the harm there. But here's the other thing. Here's my thought about that. If we had 40 million people now using the Juul and getting used to using a technology product as opposed to taking a stick out of a box and lighting it on fire, in my opinion, they are one step. They're already vapors, but maybe they're one step closer to trying something else, to trying a bigger device, a bigger battery device, a different kind of nicotine, a regular nicotine. a tank system, one of our systems, one of Aspire system, JOYETECH system, INNOKIN systems. In my opinion, it gets them one step closer to us, right? But the vape shop needs to be prepared for that. They need to be prepared for that person who goes in using a Juul saying, what else you got, right? Because that's the way I see it. I know there's a lot of negativity towards Juul, but that's the way I see it. It gets them one step closer, and it's a better alternative for people.
I don't have an issue with the
that?
product.
Okay.
I think it's a product that can help people quit smoking. If it's sold in a lot of the outlets that unfortunately our products are not in, meaning our products, the independent vapor industry, not our particular products. Okay. I think it's a great product for that. I think kids are going to try anything, whether it's the Juul, whether it's smoking, whatever it's going to be, they're going to experiment with everything. I think that kids should be aware and educated the difference between smoking and vaping, because I think that's very, very important. And at the end of the day, if it's a 16-year-old that's been smoking since they were 14, yeah, give them a Juul. I don't have any problem with it, as long as they're not smoking, right? So the whole goal is to transition them to smoking. The biggest problem that I see with Juul going under the Big Tobacco umbrella is that when Big Tobacco has a product, it's not necessarily that they're against vapers or they're against us because we make the Zenith, or against Naked because they make a liquid. They just want to have a monopoly. So what they do is they utilize the regulatory framework, meaning the FDA and state legislation or federal legislation that benefits their companies. That's the problem that I have. And they're doing it already. And this year, Juul said they're not going to oppose Tobacco 21.
Yeah, that's
and they're not doing that. They're not doing that because they care about the industry.
Right.
That's all complete horse crap.
They're doing that because
they're doing it because they want to appease the FDA.
Right.
And they're like, oh, listen, we heard you, FDA, and we're going to support Tobacco 21. But if your product and your mission is, if you go to the Juul website right now, it's going to say, our mission is to eliminate combustible tobacco for only people over 21. That goes against all the principle that you have set forth, especially when kids start smoking at 13 and 14. Why at the age of 18, we don't have the opportunity to give them a less harmful product? So to me, from an ethics perspective, I have to disagree with him on that mission as a company, not against the company itself, but that particular one issue. I'm picking one. There's other issues. That's a Smoke for Your Radio episode. That's not for here.
Although my issue with them would be pulling flavors from C-stores.
Flavors is the other one as well too. We know that flavored product helps adults quit smoking. Why are you pulling the product out from where the smoker shops? So that is my that is my issue with a company policy that is adjusted because Big Tobacco stepped in to buy it, and now we have to bend over and listen and buy into this rhetoric from the FDA that, oh, kids, an epidemic and nicotine is bad and it kills you, and the developing brains and all this other stuff that these public health groups have come up with to bash our industry. So I'm not buying into that. I'll never buy into that. I don't care which association I'm leading, but I'm never going to admit to a legislator and say, yeah, I think 21 is a good idea and that we should keep these products out of the hands when somebody turns 18. No, I can't do that.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous. All right.
So two good perspectives there.
Yeah. I don't have any issue with the product. I saw a question, what do you recommend, nicotine freebase or salt nicotine for somebody that's starting? Either or. I don't have any issue with it. They should try. They should be able to experience the difference at a vape shop. Vape shops should have salt nicotine loaded up in devices. They should have regular nicotine loaded up in devices. Let the customer try and see if it works. Maybe for some people, 12 or 18 milligram might be harsh. Maybe they want a smoother hit. Salt nicotine can help them do that. So I don't have against no problem. When somebody's starting, as long as they're not smoking, right? Whatever it is, whether it's salt nicotine, freebase nicotine, tzadiki nicotine that I made today, that was really, really good. I put a little nicotine in it too, by the way.
It was delicious, yeah.
By the way, today I made lamb chops and kebabs and tzatziki and Greek salad and home French fries with grated Parmesan Romano on it and oregano and fresh sea salt on it. It was delicious.
It was so good.
It was really
and I know there's more leftovers in there to chew on later on. Yeah.
Great perspective, Leah. Are they going to raise the smoking age to 21, drinking age to already 21? Are they going to raise that marriage age and the military age? That's exactly my point as well, too. At what point do we consider people in the United States adults? Now, if you look at my Facebook feed and some of the people that I have as friends on there, maybe we need to lift it up to 35, 40, right? But that's just a vape problem. That's not. But at what point do we consider people here in the United States adults? The moment that I'm able to vote for my representative and the president of the United States, That is, to me, the moment that you're considered an adult. You're making a vote that's going to influence legislation for the citizens of this country for the next 4 years or 2 years or whatever it's going to be. So if at 18 you consider me adult, then I should have the right as a forget about vaping and smoke. I should have the right, if I want to have a vice, if I want to intake nicotine into my body, I should have a right to buy that legally in this country. For crying out loud. There you go. Pick it up.
So strong, buddy. You're amazing. I'll pick it up. But you know, I always like to go to the lighter side, right? We have a call.
Yeah.
859. You're on the air with 𝗵𝗵𝗺 and the beautiful man in pink underwear, 𝗵𝗵𝗺 the Vaping Greek.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good about yourself.
Fantastic, fantastic. What can we help you with tonight?
I was watching your guys' show live, and you guys had mentioned I just recently converted from vaping back in October of 2017, and I feel that it's been the best thing for me since then. I was trying to get my oldest brother to quit smoking.
Okay.
And I started with a stick Prince. I had vaped in the past and kind of dual used cigarettes and vaping together.
Okay.
And I finally got tired of cigarettes. I stuck with my vape. It was the Prince tank that I bought. Really enjoyed it. I moved on up to a RDA now, and I was trying to get my older brother to stop smoking, and I gave him the stick Prince, and it was a little too much for him. I guess his style of vaping and mine are two totally different.
Right.
I like a direct lung vape, and I'm thinking he's more of like a mouth to lung type style vapor. And so I figured I would call in.
Sure.
Okay.
Get your guys' input.
What's your name, first of all?
My name is Robert.
Robert, hello and welcome to the Smoker Show. So your brother, let me ask some of the same questions. What does he smoke? Do you know? What the hell are you doing?
Yes, he smokes Marlboro Red.
Okay.
And I guess he's probably been smoking now right around 35 years, about a pack and a half a day.
Oh, okay. Okay, you got 18s?
Yeah, so
Yep.
it's
GLD
definitely time to quit,
Okay, so we've got a device set here for him. We're gonna send him one of these nice little blue cool fires, or send to you to give to him. And we've got some stronger. You said Marlboro Reds, right? So we've got some stronger nicotine to send out, courtesy of LUNAR ROVER. And all you have to do is get a hold of either me or 𝗵𝗵𝗺 on Facebook, and we will get some information from you and take care of this. And hopefully we'll get together. We'll be able to get your brother off of the cigarettes. Okay.
Facebook.com/VapingGreek. Just send me a message. Just remind me who you are. Give me an address. And listen, I'm not saying this. People are always going to say I'm trying to self-promote. Listen, this combination right here will help a lot of people quit smoking. I guarantee it. It will help people quit smoking. This is just a great setup for a Marlboro smoker right here. GLD by LUNAR ROVER and the Cool Fire Kit.
Yes, sir. Whenever I first started vaping, I guess I want to say it was probably back in 2012 that I had tried to convert myself from smoking to vaping. And I had gotten it was a Kangertech sub-ohm tank or something along those lines.
Yeah, the sub tank.
And it kind of didn't work for me. I went back to smoking. Then I was a dual user and dropped vaping altogether. And I finally had enough. I bought the stick Prince, and it works great for me. And like I said, I gave it to him, and it just it's too much for him, or as the way he explains it to me. It's just not his style of vaping.
Sure.
No,
sure.
and that's fine.
Especially for somebody that's been smoking for 35 years, mouth to lung definitely is recommended.
And see, this is the thing. Like, this is what 𝗵𝗵𝗺 and I talk. This is what 𝗵𝗵𝗺 and I talk a lot about, is the fact that where you go in your vaping journey is entirely up to you, right? But first, let's get you as a vapor. Let's get you as a successful, satisfied vapor who's satisfied with the product. Once you're off of the cigarettes, and if you want to explore your possibilities and different styles and methods of vaping, let's do that. Let's do that. But let's get you as a vapor first.
Yes, that's. I wish I could have done that back in 2011, 2012. Just unfortunately, there wasn't I shouldn't say not enough support, but the shops wasn't really in tune with helping me conquer that smoking addiction. You know, they was worried about selling me the IPv3, I think it was.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Which, you know, hey, it's fine. I get it. It worked for a little bit, but it just, you know, it was really, to me, you know, I had to be ready to quit smoking and be done with it myself to fully embrace the journey. So, I will contact you guys on Facebook. I'll send you a message.
Absolutely.
With my first and last name. And,
all right, Robert, keep us posted, and good luck to your brother, too, my friend. Have a happy New Year.
Happy
Better late
New
than
Year.
ever.
I thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Very nice.
That's a really good call. You know,
he's a very, very nice guy.
And
he wants to help his brother. I think that's just fantastic.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, so we don't get 1 million views, right? Like somebody showing the shiny new product
or creating drama. Like if I came on here right now and said that me and Daniel had sex in Las Vegas, there'll be 1,000 people in the room,
and I'd leave.
But yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's
but I mean, if we could convert one smoker per show, then I think we've done our job, and I think we've done a good job, right?
Absolutely. But by the way, hey DNP. Every time I see that,
I know.
Every time I see that.
In that case, I'm happy to put your name first. Yeah.
Mom, try to quit smoking. Give her some salt nicotine. Give her like 18 milligram salt nicotine in a small setup like the Cool Fire. Or even the EQ, something like that. It's give her a little smoother throat hit for her so she won't be coughing. And also teach her how to inhale. You know, I think a lot of the older people, they've been smoking for 20, 30 years. It's a ritual, guys. Smoking is a ritual. They know exactly how to light that cigarette, take that big puff. We can't do that. This, you just have to let the device do it for you. Watch. I'm going to demonstrate.
Everybody pay attention. Here we go.
So you press the button, just let the vapor kind of go, you know.
Yeah. You know, it is very sensitive,
like
extremely good.
Thank you very much.
You know what I think is that you take the smoke from a cigarette. A vape product gives you the vapor.
Yes,
I think that's the difference.
There you go. You don't work as hard,
right? With a cigarette, if you suck harder, your cherry glows more, right? And, well, I mean, okay, look,
you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
In a way, a cigarette is a variable wattage device, depending on how hard you suck, right? I mean, that's the truth. If you suck harder on an e-cig, it doesn't give you anything more, right?
Yeah.
So you do have to relearn, right? You do have to relearn a few things.
Yeah.
Yep. Suck my cherry, baby.
There's
Hunters just hangs out and just picks under.
Let's get this phone call. And Peter said, Peter Skoggeth. I'll look for it right now, buddy.
It does, Leah. It does everything. Like when I do the reviews, it does sound awfully perverted. Yeah.
So go ahead.
We have another one. 859. You're on the air with Phil and Demi.
Okay. Well, see, you scared them.
They hung up. I'm
sorry.
All right.
Unread request. I'm going to look right now.
What? What's the matter?
But he says that he sent me a message. I don't have it all over here, Peter. I'm looking at my unread requests, and I don't see Peter anywhere. So send me another one, Peter. That's all I can say. Send me another message. And I see Lori. Lori just messaged me right now. And it's in my other thing. I'd like to see your wives on the show to talk about your journey into vaping. We will do that one day.
No, I don't know about my wife. She's very, very camera shy. She wants nothing to do with the camera.
I keep getting all these messages about Vupu. Come on, guys. Like all the thing that listen. For crying out loud, everything that's going on vaping. If the biggest concern for an advanced vapor is Vupu right now, then you have bigger issues. You have bigger issues. Trust me. Vupu sells really good for vape shops. They're not going to boycott this brand because somebody online made a video that Vupu, sucks or whatever. They're going to keep selling these devices. But again, at the end of the day, it's a company decision. You don't like the company, just don't buy their product.
Don't support them.
There you go. Period. Done. What's drama going to do? Just bring us views? We need to give away a stocking. And then we can have some fun.
We really do. All right. So let me get a couple of these out.
𝗀𝗽𝗄𝗃 𝗦𝗵𝗶 𝗀𝗵𝗺 𝗕𝘂𝗽𝗲. All right. So Listen, this is very, very exciting. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in the stock.
We should maybe read it. I can read it from over there, or we could pull it up here somewhere.
No, just pull it up right there. There's
TastyJuice.com. Okay, so in the stocking, what is currently in the stocking? What is up for grabs in this? If you go to TastyJuice.com, on the top of the page, you'll see a little stocking, a little story about the stocking contest,
So
why
exciting.
I do it the way I do it. But here's the list of everything that's in the stocking. The Vandy vapor-𝗀𝗀 MTL RTA V1.5, courtesy of my 𝗃𝗺. The INNOKIN's like pretty much everything they have. The Proton Plex kit, the Platform Edition Coolfire and Zenith kit, the Platform Edition Chroma and Zenith kit, the Aries MTL RTA, the EQ, the 𝗀𝗵𝗶 tank, the new one with the Plex 3D coils, and the new T18-2. The DigiFlavor Drop Solo and the Siren 2, the 𝗀𝗵𝗶 Cylon, the Tesla Nano 100-watt temperature control, the Zeus RTA, the 𝗃𝗼 U-Force tank, the JOYETECH Espion Ego AIO and Exceed box, 5 packs of cotton threads, the 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗹, the 𝗃Pro NatureVape UK True MTL RTA, the 𝗃Pro Mod 101, the 𝗀𝗵𝗶 CB60 and Reload Tinker, the 𝗃Fest Luck V6 Charger, the Silver Play MTL RTA, the complete line of Lunar Rover e-liquids and Nick strength of your choice, the complete line of Naked 100 e-liquids in a Nick strength of your choice, the complete line of 5 Pawns e-liquid in a Nick strength of your choice, the 𝗃𝗍𝗄 Pro 200 kit, large and small Kanga cases, courtesy of Paul, the 𝗃𝗽𝗄𝗃 Cronus kit, the �geekVape Amit MTL, and these are all courtesy of my 𝗃𝗺, INNOKIN, DigiFlavor, 𝗀𝗵𝗶, Tesla, �geekVape, 𝗃𝗼𝗄, JOYETECH, Cotton.
Oh my God!
I know.
Oh my God! There's a 𝗃𝗼𝗄. I'm leaving. I'm done.
𝗃Pro and NatureVape UK, 𝗃Pro, 𝗀𝗵𝗶, 𝗃Fest, Vapor DNA, Lunar Rover, Naked 100, 5 Pawns, 𝗃God, Paul from INNOKIN, 𝗃𝗽𝗄𝗃, and �geekVape and my 𝗃𝗺 again.
All right, can you go back to what are you doing?
I'm
What
sorry.
did you do?
I don't know what I did there.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, by the way, let me just put that. There's no smoker that knows who the hell 𝗃𝗼𝗄 is. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Single one.
There's probably no smoker that knows who the hell we are.
In all fairness, they shouldn't be sending product to underage reviewers. Okay,
Absolutely.
let's just make that statement there. So anyway, what was the question for the stocking contest? This question came out in the last video, and it was, how many of these do I have? How many of these have I collected in my journey at all the different vape shows? I have a very limited number here in Florida. I have a stack of them in Rochester. And you made a guess today. What was your guess? And remember, you had to get the closest without going over. That was key.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So I guessed 52.
And you lose.
Yes, but I was very, very close.
You were very close. I mean, like, surprisingly.
Yeah. But I was trying to average like the shows that we've been together, and I have more because not only I've done more shows, but I've also done conferences and stuff like that.
Right.
So I was trying to average, per year, how many you're gonna have. So I put like 8 per year average, and this is how I came up with the number.
Yep. And you were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong.
So of course, I mean, if you follow my reviews,
Big J, you want this shirt? Big J, send me a message on Facebook and I'll send you one.
Like right off your back? You're gonna wash it first?
No,
Please.
it's gonna leave it like that. Here.
Oh wow. Oh,
I will send you this shirt. Now it's even more valuable.
Did you wipe my brows? I see what you're gonna.
Now it's even more valuable.
Now, of course, to enter the contest, there's a whole bunch of rules, and I announced the rules in the video, and you had to send, an email to contest@tastyyourjuice.com with your guess. And I looked at the emails just before the show, and we have 4 people who got the answer correct. 4 people. I don't even know the total amount. I'll announce that in the next review video. But 4 people. The answer was 49. 49. That was the answer. Confirmed 49. I know somebody made a comment. Oh, well, I see that badge has your wife's name on it. No, I didn't count those badges.
Right.
I count just, my badges. Right. So there are 49, and we have a 4-way tie, which means we go to the random selection. Okay. So I'm going to go over here. We'll announce who got it.
Are you going to screenshot that, by the way, to use it for your videos, Will, too?
Do you want me to? We can.
Or you can use here. Yeah. You can pull the video.
Right?
Yeah.
Just pull this, right? Okay.
You pull that. Just, for transparency. We don't want anybody to be thinking that,
yeah,
you're rigging the election.
Everybody thinks we're rigging something, right?
It's fake news, man. It's fake news.
Oh, my God. So let's see here. Where do I have it? It's not that.
Exit that.
So, no, it's not there. No, that's not it. Hold on a second. We're getting there.
You should be a little bit more prepared for that.
What is
Close that. Just make that.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So, all I already have the.
Okay, tell me the names first. Hold on, I'll read them.
Right. 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃. Go ahead and read.
𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃.
𝗵𝗵𝗀.
𝗃0𝗃.
Warren Power.
And
Andrew Ellison. All
and
guessed
Andrew
49.
Ellison. Those 4 people guessed 49 from the list, and I can confirm because I went through the emails and I saw them. So
Right there. Okay.
one guy from these guys, and they're all guys.
They're all guys.
I mean, just your luck.
You're all right.
4 guys. We're gonna do a random generator, and one person is gonna win the whole shebang. The whole
stocking.
The whole
You
stocking.
want to see what this looks like? This is
Yeah.
actually pretty fun. Okay, hold on.
I like your legs. They're so sexy.
Here, you hold this box.
Okay.
Books.
This is oh my god! Look at this.
And I even bought them a stocking too because I felt bad.
Oh, that's sweet. Look at
But it's just like loaded with gear.
that.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
You can open up your own vape shop. All right, so.
Can you take this back now too?
No, just,
Can I take something from here?
No. Put your hands out there. You got enough vape gear. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's a big block, and we do want to thank everybody that sent, including the sponsors of the Smoker Show, that sent all these products out for this amazing contest.
So before I announce the winner, let me just say, like why I do the contest the way I do it is on tasteyourjuice.com. But I'm winded. I ran over there with those boxes. They're very, very heavy boxes. The reason why I do it the way I do it, it's just kind of like me sharing my tradition with you guys. When I was growing up with my brother, we were very, very spoiled at Christmas time. Dad was a construction worker. Mom was a secretary. And they worked really, really hard to give me and my brother everything that we wanted for Christmas. And it was like kind of over the top. So that's kind of like me sharing my tradition with you guys.
So sweet.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So obviously there's more stuff in here than you can ever use yourself. So, my suggestion would be to, make a friend and convert a smoker and use the gear. Of course, it's your gift to do whatever you want with, but
pay it forward.
Use it to create more smokers. To create more vapors. Is what I meant to say.
More smokers. We need smokers anyway to make them vapors. So let's make them smokers first, and then we're gonna make them vapors.
So let's click randomize. It's very exciting.
Very exciting.
All right, 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃, 𝗃𝗵𝗃, Warren Power, Andrew Ellison. Let me just go ahead and just film this just in case.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to be stupid.
That's what I was suggesting as well.
Okay. All right, I'm recording. There they are right there.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead.
Hey, before you do that, just
Wait.
make it a little bit more anticipating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Record me and then record the show here. That's
There's the show right
Isn't
there.
that pretty cool?
Yeah, that's very cool.
And everybody in the chat is cheering for them. Well, not really. Everybody's like, shit, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. No, I know. Okay, all right. So here we go. Random.org. I'm going to go ahead and click the randomize button. Good luck, everybody. The winner is 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃.
Is he in the chat?
What?
Is he in the chat? I don't know. Is 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃 in the chat? Congratulations, 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃. You're not going to be in any bad moody when you get this package, that's for sure. But congratulations, 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗃. You have won the whole shebang.
That's pretty cool. Right?
All right, so
I hope he's excited about it. That's what I like. I hope he's excited. I would hate for him to just like come back to me and say, oh, thanks. Be excited. That would make me happy.
I'm excited for them. Big J Vapes, like I said, send me an email and I'll send you one of the Smoker Show shirts.
Yep.
A message on Facebook. All right. So yeah, recap, and then we'll do a little fun stuff for 10-15 minutes, and then we'll go.
We are going to do fun stuff.
Why not?
Can we start drinking at that point, or
no? I think we should do that on Facebook later.
Okay.
But once again, I want to thank all our sponsors: Naked, Lunar Rover, 5 Ponds, INNOKIN, JOYETECH, and of course myvaporstore.com. myvaporstore.com. MTL10 is the code. Lunar Rover is Vaping Greek or 𝗵𝗵𝗺, preferably Vaping Greek, for 15% off. And if we have any vape shop owners there that want to get in touch with us for wholesale, just let us know, and then we'll get you in touch with the right people. We have a personal connection to all those companies as well too, so we're very, very proud that they're on board. And New Year's resolution: if you're a vapor watching this, get out there and convert a smoker. Get out there and assist them. Hold them hand by hand. Give them the support that we all got when we started from friends, like Phil did for me and other people within the community, and help them convert a smoker. If you're a vape shop, pull out the whip and get to your employees and get them back to the basics. Get back to why they got into this industry, and try to attract more smokers into the vape shop before the big guys, meaning big tobacco and the pharmaceutical companies, come and sweep them all up and monopolize this space.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, again, my main resolution is to not eat at night anymore.
Okay, I think we determined that.
I want to.
That's going to work for
like
2 weeks.
Really, thanks a lot. Thanks for all the support and encouragement, Dimitri. And somebody mentioned before that, like, you know why Dimitri? We just talked about this at dinner. You know why Dimitri made that big dinner and why he feeds you so well all the time is because you want to continue to be the skinny one.
Yeah,
you're afraid.
Yeah,
you're afraid. I don't blame you.
By the way, Bree, if you do go into 𝗃𝗃 Vapers, say hi to the owner. They're just a very, very nice guy, and I can't think of his name right now, but I should. But because he's just a really nice person, and he really cares about smokers, and he caters to everybody out there. So,
so anyway, that my resolution outside of that is to just continue hold the course, support vaping, represent vaping in the best possible light, and continue to shut up, DJ LSB. And continue to find more smokers and get them converted.
Yeah, with his reviews, Roberto has converted a few. So that's great. That's great, man. Everybody that goes out there and tries to do the right thing, I think eventually you will be rewarded. If you're looking for a financial reward, I think that you will be. Just maintain the course. You know, I think that there's a lot of people out there that get blinded sometimes. You know, with this, you know, community of vapors that's always has this shiny tightest. I want to get the newest and the greatest and all that. And that's cool too. It's cool to have that as well too. But don't forget where you came from. And don't forget that if you want to get to the shiny tightest, you have to convert smokers first. You need to bring those customers in to our space. And then once they quit smoking and they want to move on to anything else, it's a great thing. 𝗃𝗃 to you too.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. See, DJ, I'll tell you, but Dimitri does look sexy now.
Daniel does have a thing for me.
I think.
I mean, I don't know how much.
Plus, I think
I didn't want to tell you live on the air, but
plus, when you said before that, like Daniel and I had sex together, that would create a whole lot of drama. We get a lot more.
I got you a little bit upset. I could tell.
I think it got me a little bit upset,
and that didn't happen. That's why.
And I think it got him a little bit excited. I think.
Yeah, give him some hope. Yeah. Give him some hope.
By the way, if you married him, he could stay in the States legally, right?
That's a good point. Hey, Daniel, let's talk after the show. Let's make a little, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
But anyway, we'll take a few questions. Anything that you want to ask, it's free for all now. It doesn't have to be vaping or smoking related.
Funniest thing that you experienced in 2018 or
funniest. Oh God, man, I really have to. Do you know off the top of your head? Go first.
I have one thing that I really okay. Right. So there were two things that stuck out. The one where we were filming for the Dan Donahue School of vaping.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I had to blow the vape up between your legs, and I was on the table underneath the table. Yeah, that was hysterical.
That was pretty fun.
And I love when we were what restaurant we were at. We were at a show, and we went to three really
we were in
bad
Paris.
Restaurants. We were
outside Paris, I was to say. Yeah. We're not in Paris.
And there's like really good food in Paris, but we happened to pick some really bad ones.
Horrible.
And there was a slice of lemon. And I said, because Dimitri always takes care of me when we go out. I was like, do you want this? You want this? And so I try to do the same for him. And I said, Dimitri, would you like some lemon on your meal? And he's like, yes, I would love some lemon on my meal. And I go to squeeze the lemon on his meal, and the lemon shot out of my hand and it shot across the restaurant. He just looks at me cold face. He goes, I guess I'm not getting any lemon. Just the way you said it.
It was pretty funny.
Oh my God, that cracked me up.
I think one of the funniest things for this year to me was again in France, when we were trying to cross the toll.
And I whipped out the camera right away.
That was. I mean, I laughed so hard. Looking back at it now, I was really panicking. But if you haven't seen it, go back and see Phil's video on it. But we were leaving France, and I rented a car. And we're trying to get through the tolls. And of course, Phil has this thing when we travel. He wants to get to the airport like 17 hours before our flight. So we get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The flight wasn't until 9. So we're at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're driving in France. And we get to a toll booth. And you have to take a ticket. And then after you exit, you pay. So I'm looking, it's all in French. So I said, where should I go? And Phil says, go to
this one. Like I can read French. Sure. So go over here. It looks good.
I take the ticket from there. And then we reach the where we have to pay. And then I said, where I go? And he says, well, go here. So I go. And apparently it was the wrong one. So I put the ticket inside. It's not reading it. It's spitting it back out. You know, now this car's piled up behind me. And I'm looking at the ticket. I'm like, it's not working. It doesn't. There's nowhere to put money. It's not telling me how much I owe.
Just keep in mind that this is me being helpful. As soon as it spit the ticket out at him the first time, I instantly got out my camera and started recording.
And it's recording this whole
instantly.
thing. I mean, it's just really...
He's panicking. The cars are lining up behind us, and I'm just laughing. And I got my phone, and I'm laughing.
It was horrible. And then finally, I pressed the button for help, and this lady comes out, and she's talking French to me. I was like, I don't speak French, you know. So eventually she says, like, read. I still have the ticket stub, by the way. I've saved it, but it says read the number on there. I look at the number. The number has like 50 different numerical carriers. I mean, it was nuts. And now I'm sweating. Now there's an 18-wheeler behind me. It's honking the horn. And I'm like, get me out of this country. What did I do to deserve this? And finally she says, read it. And the number pops up and it's like 16 euros. And I can't put cash. There's no cash to put cash in this thing. So this is credit card. And I'm like, give me your credit card, Phil. And Phil pulls out his credit card. Eventually we paid. But it was like 3-4 minutes, I think, that were stuck there, and it felt like worse 30 minutes. That was pretty funny. That was one of my
there are a lot of times that we're doing something. Just, I mean, really anything. It could be driving around. It could be doing a show. It could be just us talking to each other. And we just wish that we had body cams on all the time.
Yeah. Well,
not all the time. Yeah, all right, not all the time, but a lot of times, because we would capture a lot of funny stuff for you guys. And we're constantly at it. Like, you know, a lot of people ask us, you know, is that whole bromance thing, is it real? Is it made up? Are you guys really friends? We are really, really good friends, you know, and I found one of my best friends because of vaping. I would have never known 𝗵𝗵. And, you know,
we're hanging out in Florida for New Year's. I mean, that's amazing. All because we quit smoking, man. That's pretty amazing. 𝗃𝗵𝗻 bought 10 Aspire Gusto kits to give away, 3 gone, 7 to go. Fantastic chunk.
Good deal.
How long have we been friends? Question from Bree. We've been friends since 2011, I think.
2011.
Late 2010, early 2011, I think, is when we started talking online. And I think 2012 is when we met finally in person.
Yep.
And it's been this train wreck that you see here.
Yeah,
the bromance ever since.
When he came to Florida, hold on, let me go get the paper. Continue on talking.
Okay. Well, I answer this question. INNOKIN EQ give the same satisfaction as T18? I think so, because it has the plexus coil inside and it has that boost mode. You can put 12 milligram in. That's what I'm using inside here. I'm using the menthol from LUNAR ROVER, 12 milligram with a boost mode, and it's a really satisfying vape. Non-smoker show question: did Phil run away before the show to shower and print before going live? Absolutely, I did too. I did too, because I was here. I was like, I feel bad, so I went inside. I showered. I fixed my hair, put gel, put cologne on, put deodorant. I just wanted to, you know, that's exactly what he was going to do. I did exactly the same thing. That's it.
I did. Yep. When is the beep coming? Oh, Lord.
If I want my vape shops that I go to, how can I get them to carry the Zenith in your products? I live in North Carolina. All you have to do is tell them that they'll reach out to their wholesale distributor and bring the tank in. Just tell them that, hey, I really like the Zenith or whatever, and I want to have replacement coils. All Day Vapes carries it. Demand Vapes carries it. Kangaroo Wholesale USA. There's a lot of distributors out there that have the product. So just tell them that you want to bring it in. And we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We do appreciate that. You know, number one, you got to understand that we are trying to convert smokers, right? So we are trying to save lives, but this is also our livelihood now, right? So this is how we make our living. And we're in a very, very unique industry where we can make a living by helping people live longer. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, you know, understand that not only when you buy, you know, a platform product, you're supporting us too, in a way, and you're supporting our families. And we definitely appreciate that. So
this guy from Greece, his very old Greek mother says, who are you and why do you smoke batteries? That's a great one. Thanks, Stephen. We appreciate it. And thanks to the comment about my weight loss. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I feel great. I feel amazing. Various competitions you guys had against each other, especially the Shoot Your Eye Out and Bullseye. Yeah, I mean, we are, listen.
Oh, wait, that's another funny moment.
Yeah, that is a funny moment. We're very competitive. And I think that Phil obviously takes it to the next level. To me, it's more because I bust his balls. It's not, most of the stuff that we've done, he's won in the competition. But I always like to manipulate the situation a little bit to not let him enjoy the moment of victory.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what you do. You don't
but I admit it. And for 2019, I'm going to try to do a better job of it. Like, we make you even more uncomfortable with it. But yeah, the competitions are fun. You want me to
go get the targets?
No, it's okay. That's okay. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're going to take them with you to the grave. But yeah, the little competitions that we do. Now, listen, we do have a following on Facebook that's bought into the bromance. So I feel like they're a friend of ours online that follow the stuff that we do. And when we get online live and we do it from the hot tub or we do a bullseye competition, it's not made up. This is how we are constantly. And we're just sharing that experience, this journey, this friendship through vaping with you guys. And we hope you appreciate it, and we hope it's fun. And, you know, if you don't like it, you just
change the channel.
Change the channel. Yeah. That's all I can say. But it's definitely not.
No, I mean, he has been busting my balls since he pulled in the driveway, and it's going to continue on tomorrow, I'm sure. But anyway, so when they came in, I set up, because Dimitri brought his family this time. My wife is here too. And so what I did was, in the bedroom where Dimitri is staying, I set up the two camera lights, the two LED, the two lights. You got a photo?
Absolutely,
okay. Yeah. Look at this.
So there's the bed that's set up
with
a camera and two LED spotlights directly on the bed that me and my wife are gonna sleep on.
And on the camera, I had this right here, and this is vacation memory video packages. So there's two packages. There's the fill package. The fill package is $24.95, and the package includes 2 hours video recording, multiple angles, professional editing, and satisfaction guarantee. Now, there's also the Dimitri package. The Dimitri package is $5.95. It includes 5 minutes video recording. I don't know what you're going to do with the other 4.5 minutes, and no satisfaction guarantee. Okay, so this is on the, and also there's add-ons, right? There's add-ons, toys and props, $25, batteries extra. Social media posting is free. No social media posting is $1,000. Professional cameraman free, and of course the pink keepsake memory stick is $25.
$25. Daniel said that he was in the Navy for 13 years, and he was helping people, and then he left there to do this to help people as well too. That's very
fantastic.
Very nice.
That's fantastic.
Condo board has made the building smoke and vape free. They're worried about secondhand smoke and vapor. They claim vapor has carcinogens. How do you argue against vastly informed people who make the rules? There's at least 2 studies out there that show that secondhand vapor is harmless, way below the thresholds of the OSHA allowed. So download those studies. If you want, send me an email, mattgreek@gmail.com. I can forward those studies to you, and try to sit down and try to educate them based on science and not fear. There is absolutely nothing to worry about when it comes to secondhand vapor, even from the people that are exhaling the large clouds that you see. It's visually, it seems like it's overwhelming, but in truth is that the actual vapor itself way below the allowed OSHA limits. Yet, are there carcinogens in it, or is it formaldehyde at levels that are not even detectable?
Right. So that's something that we used to say earlier on in the Smoker Show, is that when you see a negative study, you have to ask yourself, did that negative study compare what they found negative to what they find in a cigarette, right? Because if they don't, it's invalid. What do we call vaping? Vaping is harm reduction. It's not harm elimination, right? So there is still a small amount of harm left in the vaporizing technology,
Absolutely.
Right? So that's also why we say, if you don't vape and you don't smoke, continue to not vape and not smoke. But we're here to convert smokers over to vaping, right? For smokers to get their nicotine in a safer delivery method. But there's still some harm associated with that. Again, being harm elimination and not harm reduction, the only fair study is to compare what they found bad with the same amount of what they found bad in a cigarette, because most of the times it's like this, right? And they don't do that. They just find that a little bit wrong with it, and they blow it out of proportion. Yeah. Right? And it's not right. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not balanced. But such as mainstream media these days. Right?
Another comment: I've tried to get my friends to stop smoking, but every time I suggest vaping or trying something different, I get the same standard comment: don't be that non-smoker suggestions. What I've found is, let them come to you. If they're not ready and you try to impose on them and say, hey, have you tried vaping? Sometimes they get offended, but mostly that comes from people that are not ready to quit smoking. So your continuing use will make them a believer, because sometimes they'll say, oh, look at that guy's vaping. He's probably going to go back to smoking. It's a fad or whatever. The more that you use it, I guarantee you they're going to come at some point. It's like, man, you've been using this for 2 months now, or 6 months, or a year. Does it work? And if it works, what did you use? And then you can go into that spiel. Let them come to you. They have to be ready. I think that even when I was a smoker, when somebody would come in, I know that smoking it killed my father, for crying out loud. I know that smoking was going to kill me. I knew it. So everybody that came and told me, smoking is going to kill you. Yeah, I know. Well, thanks a lot. You're not telling me anything different. But until I was ready to quit smoking, and this product did help me quit smoking, then I got in and I started doing the research myself and try to find the right products for me and my wife to quit smoking. So my suggestion to you is just let them come to you. Don't go to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a question for Tracy. Tracy is a DJ LSB fangirl. Was that before or after his new haircut? I'm not sure. But I got to give you a warning about that new haircut. It is so plastered and so sharp that if you accidentally fall into it, but you could cut yourself, right? So be very, very careful around DJ.
Daniel does have that look too when he puts his glasses on. It's a little bit creepy. You know, when he gives you that.
Yeah, it's like that creepy sly. Yeah.
Like that, like
what is it? Like,
sideways like that. You see his eyes coming. It's a little good. It's a bit unnerving.
Weird, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. All right, let me see if they have any other questions here that we haven't gotten to. And thanks to Bill Tarling once again for keeping these up for us. We really appreciate it. You know, if you think about doing it over again, Phil, for what you've done in vaping since 2010, what would you change?
The biggest thing is the name of the website.
Yeah, that's
the biggest thing, and maybe not the intro that I'm using. Although it's fun. I mean, like really, when I first looked at it and I thought about it, because the reason why I did the intro and the website the way I did was it was all based on the porn clip that I use, which is "Can I Taste Your Juice?" Right? And you know, back then in 2009, 2010, it just seemed like the perfect fit for me, right? Because it was a little tongue in cheek, it was a little comedy. Juices, that was the slang for the e-liquid. I was a huge Howard Stern fan and still am, right? So it was like all of that stuff that was just like the perfect fit for what I wanted to do. Like the engineer and the comedy side, just kind of put them together. But like now when I go back, and I think it's kind of late to change it. Plus I really don't sell anything under the Taste Your Juice name. But I wouldn't use juice because I don't use juice as slang. I use e-liquid. I think juice is, it could be deemed, you know, childish, whatever you want.
And
to
listen,
call it,
you got to have a little bit of entertainment in videos as well too. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. You have to keep people entertained as well too, along with a review of a product. Yeah. And even for us, our little, you know, tongue-in-cheek humor that we do between us, I think it helps keep the interest. Because if you're always, you know, boom, 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 I can tell from Smoke Free Radio, it's a strictly, you know, advocacy geared towards political science type show, and it's very, very hard to keep the attention of vapers, especially vapers that don't really care. They just want to know, you know, whatever, you know, the latest and the greatest, and that's fine.
So I think that would be like one of the things that I would have changed. The other thing that I would have changed, I would have said fuck it a lot earlier, okay? Because I held out either releasing liquid or releasing hardware, or like kind of not take advantage of, but, you know, put my name on something for such a long time. And you told me so many times, you got to do it. You got to, Phil, you got to do it. You got to do it. But my fear was like, I've always tried to do everything right for the people who watch the videos, right? I've always said, well, Jesus, you know, if I put my name on a product, am I really unbiased? I know I can be unbiased.
And you still are.
But are the subscribers going to continue to, you know, to think I'm unbiased? Because I still give, you know, a legitimate review. But I think I would probably be in a much better place. You know, I don't want to call it sellout because it's not sellout. But, you know, had I put my name on some products a little bit sooner, like other reviewers did, right?
Yeah. I think that looking back, what I would have done is I would have made a pod in 2013. That's what I would have done.
When we were being
everybody was accusing pods.
We should have done it. Oh my God!
Should have just made a pod. Yeah. But looking back at it now, I wish that when the vape shop craze would have started in the United States, we would have set up something like an online school for vape shop employees, something that they have to be certified. Because I truly believe that a vape shop employee should go above just being a retail associate. You're a nicotine specialist. You have a title that goes above me just grabbing something and selling it to a consumer. Yeah. I think that position in today's market would have been off so much better if back in 2014, when the vape shop craze started happening across the United States, that those employees would have to pass some kind of a course that refreshes every year, because technology moves very fast. We saw that with salt nicotine and coils and everything. It moved really, really fast. And I think that those employees need to have a training. They need to have some kind of a title. I don't want to call it cessation specialist. I want to call it maybe an alternative nicotine support, something along those lines. I think that's one of the things that we should have done back in the day, and kind of focus on that a little bit more. And the other thing that I would have done is try to self-regulate the industry a little bit more, because we just let everything just go buck wild by itself. And
but I think you tried several times to self-regulate the industry, and the industry did not want to be self-regulated, and they still don't want to self-regulate. Yeah. Right. I mean, we see it all the time with the products that are coming out, the labels that are coming out. You know, I think it's better now. I think companies get attacked a lot more when they do stupid things or they have stupid labels. But you know, it's still a huge problem.
I saw very
to go away.
Yeah, I saw a very sweet comment here that I want to read. I just want to make sure I don't lose it. When my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia, he quit smoking and started vaping. Before he would buy, he would check to see if 𝗵𝗵𝗺 had a review first. He died in November, so Phil, you do help. So sorry for your loss. May he always be remembered. But that's very touching,
and I do appreciate that. You know, 𝗃𝗃 magazine. I don't even know if the article made it. They approached me and they asked, like, what was the most important thing that you saw, like in 2018, or I can't remember exactly the way the question was worded. But you know, my response was the most important thing that I saw was like not the products, not the tanks, nothing. It's the emails that I get that say you had some small part in helping me quit smoking. Yeah. To this day, that is still what means the most to me. And if you go to tasteyourjuice.com and you click on the success stories page, you'll see exactly what means most to me in this industry. That is it. That is the page that means that those are my trophies. I call them my trophies.
Yeah. Another comment here. That was very, very sweet. Hey, this is from Armin. Hey guys, Happy New Year to you both.
Would you like another water?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
The ones you love. I just want to say I truly mean this. I can't imagine my 7-year vaping journey possible without you two. Phil has been my all-time guide. That's very, very sweet. Very nice comment. We really
that means a lot, Armin.
I did see another comment here about a video that says, I want to stop smoking right now. I use a V8 stick and a Prince tank. Look, you know, you got to understand, and this is a lot for the new vapors that are coming in or smokers. A lot of these videos that you're going to see on YouTube are paid. They're paid placements. And we saw that with Vupu today. Everybody's about Vupu. Vupu paid this guy to hold up this tank in this video, and it's marketing. It goes along with it. So
and by the way, everybody's now talking about Vupu.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, everybody's talking about Vupu.
So don't take when you see something online as you know, take it with a grain of salt. A lot of it's the industry really only has YouTube to advertise their products. So obviously there will be paid placements, and there will be people that are going to say the smoke stick or whatever is the best kit for people to quit smoking. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the best kit to quit smoking. It could be an option for somebody that's used to direct lunging, a bong or something like that. They can transition easier to that. And that's fine to have that option, but it's not the best. The best is what works for you as a smoker. Okay, so keep that in mind.
There's no such thing as the best. Is what's best for you.
What's best for you. 𝗀𝗵𝗄 𝗧𝗵𝗄 𝗃𝗃 is another guy from Greece. So we appreciate him watching all the way from Greece. And
I love the fact that this show every now and then has an international flair to it. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it's all of a sudden,
yeah. What do you think about Jewel? We talked about it earlier. Just rewind back the video, and then we'll talk about the next question
will be, what do you think of salt nicotine?
I know. But yeah, I think that this connection, I just love when in all honesty, Phil, I love when we go to shows or we meet people and they say, man, I love the ball busting that you do with Phil, and it keeps us, you know, entertained, and we always follow what you do. And I think that's part of the vaping. The entertainment needs to be there as well too, because if it's always cut, right, people tune out, you know.
But I think the beauty of our relationship is that it's real. It's not made up. It's not forced. It's not pushed.
Absolutely.
One of a really nice comment that I saw on the photos that you put up of the bedroom with the video and the cameras and the thing. Somebody commented that I really wished I had a friendship like you guys had. Yeah. See, like, that stuff really does, you know, touch me.
And Daniel can verify. He's seen us outside of videos, and he can guarantee it's just like this constantly.
Daniel's seen me drunk too. That doesn't happen as much as it used to, but yeah.
So Crash Cat might come to Stuttgart. Please do. We're going to have a good time. Are we coming to Michigan? If there's something in Michigan and we get invited to come, yeah, absolutely. Bastard is from Australia. That's pretty cool.
Good. I would love to come to Australia and see Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. Jay Jerry, what do you think about banning menthol juices? No.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, don't do it.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They've been trying to ban menthol cigarettes for years.
That's true, Daniel. They're even worse in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're what do you call it? Live.
Yeah. So
unedited.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, if you're a smoker, I just want, because it got brought up to YouTube, this is a great community. If you get into especially the advanced vapors, there's a lot of, you know, there's drama constantly, but listen, drama just brings more subscribers and all that. But there's a lot of good people in this industry. Whether they veered off the path of the smoker, that does not make them a bad person. It's a really good, close community. And the majority of people will be out there to help you. They want to help people quit smoking. So once you get into the community, you're going to have to deal with the drama and all that stuff that goes with it. It's just part of any community. I think there's drama in even the bow and arrow community, right? But ultimately, this product, I'm going to be very, very serious here. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I know we talked about entertainment. This product is the only product in the last 20, 30 years that has come out that can change the course of public health. Think about that. Think about that. Think about how many people can be saved. I posted this on my Facebook, and I'm going to tell you, the only thing I regret about vaping is that it wasn't around in the 60s and the 70s for my dad to try, because he wouldn't be dead today.
Right.
So think about that. That's very, very powerful.
And without $1 million prescription from Big Pharma too. This is something that you go buy at a vape shop.
A consumer solution to the tobacco products. Exactly.
It really is. And you think about this. This is grassroots driven. This started out very, very small, guys. I know a lot of you have never seen like one of the original vape events, but the original vape events were, just a convention center at a hotel. And there were no big booths or anything like that. There were little folding tables that went all the way around. People had their little banners. You would see the same vendors show after show after show. It was a really close community. And then in the center, there would be all these tables, and everybody would be helping each other get off of cigarettes. Showing different builds, trying different liquids. It was a much closer community, and everybody had that goal of not smoking anymore or saving money. Of course, the boom is good because, it really propelled vaping beyond that. But sometimes I think it wasn't so good too,
Yeah, I agree. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 𝗧𝗵𝗵 He's on a boat in the Caribbean. He works on a boat.
Really?
And very good friend of mine. I've known him for years.
Yeah.
And he's just a great guy. So I want to say, Yanni, he recently got married. And he doesn't message me as much.
Aww.
But I mean, that's expected, once you get married, all that stuff goes away. But anyway, have a good time in the Caribbean, Yanni, and be safe on that boat over there.
Maybe we'll do some live from the boat in a couple of days.
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
If we can get internet out there.
Get internet connection.
Yeah.
All right, we've gone 2.5 hours. I think we've exhausted.
We have. And we weren't even going to go that long tonight. But
no.
Yeah, it usually happens.
It usually does happen. But listen, recap. You start.
I love when he does that. Because now what he's doing is he's thinking about the recap in his mind.
I know what my recap is.
So his recap can be much better than my recap.
Yeah, you want me to go for it? I'll go for it.
The recap is just this. I mean, it's the Smoker Show, okay? And we're going into 2019. And the purpose of this show is to make vaping a little bit more approachable to people, maybe give people a good idea of what they need, what they should experience in a vape shop. We're going to be looking at myths and bad stories when it comes to vaping, and talking about that here and just tackling it head on. We're here to support people. We want to get product in people's hands. We want to get questions answered for folks. And we just wanted to show maybe a different side of vaping, and the side that you don't necessarily hear or see in mainstream media, because it's usually negative there. And it doesn't need to be negative. It's a money thing, unfortunately. It's not a health thing. And, that's why we're here. So we're going to continue to hold the course. I appreciate everybody for watching the show and for sharing the show. Drag Smokers Live. There's a reason why we do Pound Smokers Wanted, right? Or hashtag. I'm sorry, hashtag
with no
explanation. Right.
Somebody want to see my tattoos? I'll show you my tattoos.
Look at how sexy that is. There's a reason why we do the Smokers Wanted, because that's what the show is all about. We want to attract smokers. So if while Dimitri's showing his tattoos, if you can't get a smoker to watch live, share it with them. Have them sit down and watch it for a little while. And if you have ideas for future shows, just contact either of us. We'll definitely take it into consideration and just move forward. We're gonna hold the course. Thank you to all of our sponsors that sponsor the show. We love having you guys, and we hope that we continue to have you as sponsors.
Yes,
I know that. So, I don't know if that was a recap.
That was a very, very good, very, very good. I'm not gonna drag it on too long. What I'm gonna say is that what the reason why we do this show is to take the pressure off you, the vapor. Because I know as a vapor, and all these years that I've been doing it, it's very difficult for you to keep going to a smoker and explaining everything that we're explaining here. Why is it better? Why is it cheaper? Why is it going to improve your health? What to start off with? We're trying to take the pressure of you as a vapor. So what we want from you as a vapor is to turn on smokers to the show. They can come here. It's laid back. We're not going to confuse them. We're not going to cuss every second word. We're not going to, what we're trying to do is take the pressure off the vapor and make the smokers feel like they're wanted in this industry. They're wanted in this community. We want to convert them. And then when we convert them, we want to send them over to Daniel. We want to send them to Mike Vapes. We want to send them to Scott. We want to send them within this community, set them out here and let them grow within the community like all of you did at the beginning. So that's what we're going to try to do for 2019. We're going to keep at it. We got a couple of new products coming out. The Beep, somebody asked about the Beep. It's going to be after Chinese New Year. Unfortunately, just like Daniel, if it's not ready, we're not going to put it out. So the Z Tank is ready. The Z Tank is going to go out first, and then the Beep's going to come after that.
And we have other stuff. And we have other stuff. We're going to be heading back to China. We're going to break out the whiteboards. We're going to sit the engineers down, and they're going to get pissed at us.
There was a great idea in the chat.
What?
Live from the golf cart. Let's do that.
Or
let's shoot it. Let's just shoot a video on the golf cart.
Well, we could do the golf cart and the boat. We could do,
Let's do it.
The golf cart is here.
Let's
do you want to do a liquid review on the golf cart or on the boat? On the boat?
No, on the golf cart.
On the golf cart?
Yeah. Just like the old, the old days. Maybe do in the evening a little bit.
We can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's a very good idea. I don't know who put that on there, but
for my contest of dinner with Demi and Phil. All right, Leah, let me ask you this question. Okay. Yeah, here it comes.
Come on.
If you won the contest, right, and you had the choice, like you could only pick one of us.
My God.
You could only pick one of us, right? Who would you rather have the dinner with? Would you rather have of course, a restaurant of your choice, but would you rather have the dinner with Dimitri or with Phil? Leah, I'd like to hear your response here. She's ha. Okay. Let's see if she does the politically correct thing or if she just goes and answers.
I know exactly what it's going to do.
Let's see. Where is it going to go? We're still waiting. Will there be baklava?
I didn't make any baklava. It just takes too long. I mean, it's a very difficult dessert. It just takes.
It's too bad. I love baklava. I think my wife wants you to stuff peppers tomorrow.
She's not answering. So you scared her now.
I scared. I didn't mean to scare you, Leah.
Yeah.
But you go ahead and answer that if you want. Sorry, Phil. I would love to DM you because I love Greek food.
But that was Bob.
That was Bob.
Bob, did you ask me? Bob, did you ask me, buddy? I mean, I'll hang out with you. We have a couple beers, but we're not going to go on a date, buddy.
My heart was broken, and then I realized it was Bob, and I was okay.
Even the bastard chose me. Look at that. It's all because I can. It's one on one night, one on the other.
See, okay, good. All right. Okay.
I'll let you go with Phil first the first night because that's going to be really disappointing. Anything I do is going to be right above that.
Yeah,
don't worry.
You're right. The second night is going to be no better. So that's funny.
That's funny.
That's good.
We love you, Leah.
Let's leave it.
Hi, Lisa. Right? We love you too. Oh, come on. That's not nice. Bastard. That's not nice.
Hey, I'm not fat.
He's
I'm big
beefy,
bone.
man. Look at that. I love him. Good. So much to love over here. So much to love. All right, guys, we appreciate you hanging out for the Smoker Show. Once again, thanks to our smokers. Also, thank the Vaping Advocate. They sponsor the phone lines as well, too. I didn't mention it earlier. The vapingadvocatemagazine.com.
Let's go through our sponsors.
All the other sponsors, Naked.
5
Ponds, Lunar Rover, My Vapor Store, INNOKIN, and JOYETECH.
Yes.
Also, youtube.com/𝗵𝗵 for reviews, youtube.com Vaping Greek. You can catch Smoke Free Radio, all my advocacy stuff on there as well, too. iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Podcast Addict. Just search Smoke Free Radio. You're going to find all the podcasts inside there. If you want to learn something political about vaping as well, too. That's my self-promotion for 2019.
Good, man. And I already know my first video of 2019. And
what is it going to be?
It's not going to be a review.
I'm looking at the queue.
No, I know the queue, but my first video of 2019, I got something in my head. Once I get something in my head, it's going to be a funny video.
I'm ready.
Yep.
I'm ready for that.
And it's probably going to piss a lot of people off. Which I could say, hey, folks, have a great day. And I'm sure that's going to piss somebody off. So
have a happy new year. Remember, love, happiness, and smoke free. All those three. You need to have all of them. Love and happiness are very, very important to be smoke free.
And let's relax a little bit in 2019. Let's not take everything so seriously. Let's chill out. Let's love our brother. How about that? Like just people's ideas are people's ideas and their beliefs are their beliefs. And just because they don't agree with your own doesn't mean you have to hate people.
Yeah.
You can always disagree with people and still have a wonderful relationship with somebody.
Yes.
Right? I'll leave it with that.
Yes.
How about that? That was nice.
That's really nice. Okay. As soon as you said that, somebody said fat bastard idiots.
Yeah,
that's right. Isn't that nice?
What are you gonna do?
I love the internet. It's just so fantastic. All right. Happy 2019 to all of you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for watching.